Yo, what's happening? How's everybody doing out there, man? Jesus Christ. Hello?
Frightening life and death confrontation for one man when he says a coyote frightening life and death confrontation for one man when he says a coyote stalked him, then attacked right outside of his own apartment.
He survived that attack and says he was forced to kill the animal with his bare hands. We do want to warn you, some of the video is graphic, might be difficult to watch, especially for some of our younger viewers.
CBS 17's Baron James spoke to him about the incident and joins us live now. Baron.
Liz and Russ, James Pulliam just back from the ER here at home after having gotten more rabies shots. Tell me that the other day his adrenaline was pumping so hard he didn't have time to be scared when the coyote attacked, and he says they fought for 20 minutes.
Tried to bite me, and I kicked him.
The battle between beast and man was on.
I'm trying to scramble to get away.
James Pulliam, a 24-year-old, 6'1", 175-pound former athlete versus this wild coyote. The two coming face-to-face Friday evening when James stepped outside to have a smoke here at the Bernie Blessings Apartments on Somerset Drive in Roxborough. The wild animal creeped out of these woods and charged on James.
Then I fell, crawled through this little patch right here. I'm throwing rocks and grass, everything I can.
Traced his steps Monday by walking us through exactly what, where, and how it all went down.
I pinned him down and put my knee on his throat. I had to rip my hand out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Once I got my hand out of his mouth, I used both of my hands, just started choking him, put my knee on his neck, and just held him. Yeah. Started hollering for help. It's like, you know.
How long did you hold him down like that?
Probably about 20 minutes maybe before the police got here. I had him all the way to the police got here and everything.
James ended up with multiple bite wounds on his hand and arms. He was rushed to the hospital for treatment, including antibiotics and rabies shots. Coyotes, of course, are no strangers to North Carolina, especially this time of year during springtime birthing season when wildlife experts say the animals are on the hunt to feed and protect their pups. So how do you feel now about safety?
I am scared to death.
Barbara Featherstone, who snapped this photo of the coyote's remains, says she and her neighbors, including many elderly women here, have armed themselves with practically everything from mace to makeshift weapons just in case another wild animal decides to attack.
If something grab at me, I'm going to hit him. I'm going to hit him on the nose first, then I'm going to beat him to death with this.
You tell him, Miss Veter there. Person County Animal Services took the coyote's remains away to have them tested for rabies. So far, no word on the results there. In the meantime, though, James Pulliam is being held a hero by his neighbors here for this fatal battle between beast and man. But it could have been a lot worse. And wildlife experts warn you that if you come in contact with a coyote or other wild animals, to be loud and big, wave your arms, throw things at them, but don't do as James Pulliam did and try to strangle the animal to death. We're live in Roxborough, Person County, CBS 17 News.
What did I miss, y'all? What did I miss? Said racist coyote? Damn. That racist coyote, man. Everybody hit the like button, man. Everybody smash the like button, man. Smash that like button. Smash it. We in the building, man. We are in the building. Got a great show lined up for you guys tonight, man. I'm gonna have to watch that Coyote video later on, man. I had to watch that Coyote video later on. It looked like it was good. Ibrahim Traore, you talking about the Burkina Faso? Leader of Burkina Faso? Well, I don't know too much. Maybe we can get into it later on. I can't. I know his name, but I don't know everything. All I know is what I've been hearing on Black Twitter, and I don't trust that at all. So since I don't trust that at all, what I've been hearing on Black Twitter, I'm like not really gonna. I'm not really gonna parrot anything that I heard on Black Twitter. I'm not gonna parrot anything I heard on Black Twitter. Black Twitter. Salute to everyone watching on we're live on multiple platforms, man. Salute to everyone watching on Ock Nation Gold. And salute to everyone watching on Ock Nation News, man. Douglas Chunks in the building. He said 20 minutes. I didn't even see the story. I had to go get my wife some water. So I didn't really see the story. Let me see the story once again, man. Let me see what happened here. Let's see if we can.
Life and death confrontation for one man when he says a coyote stalked him, then attacked right outside of his own apartment.
He survived that attack and says he was forced to kill the animal with his bare hands. We do want to warn you, some of the video is graphic, might be difficult to watch, especially for some of our younger viewers.
CBS 17's Baron James spoke to him about the incident and joins us live now. Baron.
Liz and Russ, James Pulliam just back from the ER here at home after having gotten more rabies shots. Tell me that the other day his adrenaline was pumping so hard he didn't have time to be scared when the coyote attacked, and he says they fought for 20 minutes.
Tried to bite me, and I kicked him.
The battle between beast and man was on.
I'm trying to scramble to get away.
That's why I keep Mace with me. That's why I keep this with me. That's why I keep this with me, man. This would have put that coyote down. That coyote would have been done. That's why I keep Mace with me, man. I'm a bitch ass nigga. Fuck that. I'm spraying your ass. I ain't like the real niggas that'll shoot you. I'm a bitch ass nigga. I spray your ass.
James Pulliam, a 24-year-old, 6'1", 175-pound former athlete versus
6'1", 175 pounds. Jesus, that was me in like the 10th grade, man. Or no, 11th grade. That was me in 11th grade. I haven't weighed I think I did weigh 170 pounds in college. I think I still weighed 170 in college. Those are the days, man. 170 pounds.
6'1", 175-pound former athlete versus this wild coyote. The two coming face-to-face Friday evening when James stepped outside to have a smoke here at the Bernie Blessings Apartments on Somerset Drive in Roxborough. The wild animal creeped out of these woods and charged on James.
Then I fell, crawled through this little patch right here. I'm throwing rocks and grass, everything I can.
Traced his steps Monday by walking us through exactly what, where, and how it all went down.
I pinned him down and put my knee on his throat. I had to rip my hand out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Once I got my hand out of his mouth, I used both of my hands, just started choking him, put my knee on his neck, and just held him. Started hollering for help. It's like, you know.
How long did you hold him down like that?
Probably about 20 minutes maybe before the police got here. I had him all the way to the...
Yeah, 20 minutes is a lot when you're fighting. I've seen fights and I've been in fights where I thought we were fighting for a long time. And dudes was like, man, that joint lasted like 30 seconds. Yeah, if he say 20, and I'm not saying he's lying, but when you're fighting, it seems a lot longer. So I'm going to say 6.5 minutes. I say six minutes. I say 6 minutes. I say 6 minutes. Ain't no way he was fighting with no coyote for 20 minutes. Ain't no way. Hey, no, I've seen plenty of videos where coyotes have attacked people. You gotta think, if a coyote's hungry, if he's wandered onto civilization, he's probably hungry. Probably looking for something to eat. They usually don't come into civilization unless they're very hungry, looking for something to eat. No, coyotes will attack people. That's that. They got plenty of videos. Just look on TV. I mean, look on YouTube or look on the dark web or whatever. Yeah, and it might have had rabies too, because that will also cause it to wander into civilization because it's deranged. Yeah. Coyotes are little wolves. They're just basically small wolves.
Police got here and everything.
James ended up with multiple bite wounds on his hand and arms. He was rushed to the hospital for treatment, including antibiotics and rabies shots. Coyotes, of course, are no strangers to North Carolina, especially this time of year during springtime birthing season, when wildlife experts say the animals are on the hunt to feed and protect their pups. So how do you feel now about safety?
I am scared to death.
Barbara Featherstone, who snapped this photo of the coyote's remains, says she and her neighbors, including many elderly women here, have armed themselves with practically everything from mace to makeshift weapons, just in case another wild animal decides to attack.
If something grab at me, I'm going to hit him. I'm going to hit him on the nose first, then I'm going to beat him to death with this.
You tell him, Miss Veter there. Person County Animal Services took the coyote's remains away to have them tested for rabies. So far, no word on the results there. In the meantime, though, James Pulliam is being held a hero by his neighbors here for this fatal battle between beast and man. But it could have been a lot worse. And wildlife experts warn you that if you come in contact with a coyote or other wild animals, to be loud and big, wave your arms, throw things at them, but don't do as James Pulliam did and try to strangle the animal to death. We're live in Roxborough, Person County, CBS 17 News.
If that coyote is on top of me, I'm choking him to death too. I'm glad to learn something, but that's scary.
It's hard to say what she would really do, right?
Well, you don't know in the moment.
Yeah.
And I've been there in Person County many times at night and heard coyotes outside howling, and we have one in our neighborhood here in Raleigh. So listen, I like that stick with that nail in it.
I was going to say, they're prepared.
I'm telling you, that's a brave group of people.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah. Oh, man.
In Brazoria County is demanding answers after her son was shot and killed. So far, nobody's been arrested. The family reached out to us saying they're not getting any answers from investigators. The shooting happened exactly 1 month ago at an apartment complex in the small town of Sweeney. Matt Doherty with the story tonight.
The Sweeney Police Department will only tell us the case is still under investigation. 1 month later, the family fears it may have gone cold. 1 month ago on Easter Sunday, Nancy Phillips got a phone call that no mother would ever want to hear.
The Sweeney Police Department calls me on the phone and says, hey, need you to come identify a body that was in your car registered under your name. And I was like, what do you mean? Register, who, only one that drives that car is my son.
Nancy sped over to the small town's police department and waited for the officers to arrive.
And I showed him pictures of my son. And I said, is this my son? He goes, yes.
16-year-old Robert Phillips had been murdered, shot and killed at an apartment complex in Sweeney a few minutes before noon.
They shot him from the back and the chest, and they hit him in the chest and the back, and he bled out.
Nancy shows us the Instagram messages and calls her son made with a now deleted Instagram account in the hour before he was killed. She says Robert drove from West Columbia to the apartment complex in Sweeney to meet with the person, who contacted Robert to buy a nicotine vape from him for $35. The final messages direct Robert where to go once inside the complex.
A nicotine vape for $35. Why he can't just buy one from the store? And I'm not trying to blame the victim. I'm not blaming the victim. I'm just like, damn. Niggas is buying vapes. Jesus. Jeez. Jesus. That's crazy, man. I don't know, man. That's bananas, man. Everybody hit the like button, man. Everyone smash the like button right now, man. Everyone smash the like button, man. We got, how many likes we got? We got 19 likes on Ock Nation Gold, and we got, jeez, man, 65 likes on Ock Nation News. Damn. Y'all doing a brother dirty, man. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is crazy, man. This is bananas. This is bananas, man. So this kid got a little black in him, man. This kid he black and Mexican. The mama Mexican and the dad black. You can tell the dad black by the hair texture.
16-year-old Robert Phillips had been murdered, shot and killed at an apartment complex in Sweeney a few minutes before noon.
They shot him from the back and the chest, and they hit him in the chest and the back, and he bled out.
Nancy shows us the Instagram messages and calls her son made with a now deleted Instagram account in the hour before he was killed. She says Robert drove from West Columbia to the apartment complex in Sweeney to meet with the person, who contacted Robert to buy a nicotine vape from him for $35. The final messages direct Robert where to go once inside the complex gates to the spot where he was ultimately found dead.
I lost his dad when he was 3 years old.
Damn, she lost the dad when the kid was 3 years old. What happened to the dad, man? What do y'all think happened to the dad, man? Make sure you sponsor the show, man. Make sure you guys sponsor tonight's show, man. Who's going to sponsor tonight's show? I got to set up the membership tiers on Ock Nation on Ock Nation Gold, man. I haven't gotten a chance to get around to that, but I'm gonna do that.
He had cancer. So I raised him by myself.
Cancer.
And he was my pride and joy. He was my everything. I knew he was going to be somebody.
Nancy says her son was a straight A student, never got into trouble, and had no enemies. The Columbia
Straight A student, never got into trouble and had no enemies. Damn. Went to sell a vape pen. Got killed over a fucking vape pen. Who kills someone over a fucking vape pen? Who does that? Who does that? Oh yeah. And we also trying to get what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get one new Patreon member every night, man. We trying to get one new Patreon member every night, man. One new Patreon member every night. If we could get one person, at least one person to join the Patreon every night, man. That'll be great, man. I'm really pushing for this. Let's try to get one person to join the Patreon every night, man. At least. That's not a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's not a lot to ask for one person to join the Patreon. If the Patreon this is the last line of defense. This rumbles down. Rumbles down. Rumble does not link up with YouTube anymore. With StreamYard. Rumble doesn't link up with StreamYard anymore. So I may have to end up streaming it on Patreon at some point. Because Rumble, you know what I'm saying? If something happens with YouTube, the Patreon is going to be the only other place. I can't, you know what I mean? Rumble doesn't link up with Patreon anymore. I'm with StreamYard. I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. I'm going to try some other platforms. I know they got Odyssey and what's the one? Kingfish or whatever the hell it is, Rockfin or some shit like that. And BitChute and all these different things. But the one I do already have is Patreon. I already have Patreon. So we're trying to get people to get over there to Patreon. You know, it's only $9.99 a month. We got 13 people. Think about it. I've been doing this for 8 years and we got 13 Patreon members. Think about that. That's like one a year. That's like one a year. We got 13 Patreon members. And you said Twitter does lives? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to look into that. I never really wanted to go on Twitter live, but I may do that. I may try. I may do that too. I may look into that. You say you have to offer exclusive benefits. The benefit is that if my channels go down, you can. That's where I'll be putting all my notifications and contacts and content on. That's the benefit of being a Patreon member, and also you can support the channel. You can support you can support the movement. You can support the work we do here. We're the only ones still talking about black fatigue. What did I tell you? You know, matter of fact, that's a good poll, man. That's a great poll to put up, man. Because everyone else has stopped talking about black fatigue. That's actually a good question, man. Um, we the only ones still talking about black fatigue, and we was talking about black fatigue before it was even a phrase. Press one. I've been talking about black fatigue before it was a phrase, and I'm still going to be the only one talking about black fatigue into the future. It's I don't know because I'm not everywhere, and I want you guys to tell me. So that's why I put the poll up. Tell me, guys. I don't know. I'm not everywhere. I only subscribe to who I'm subscribed to, and I can only be in where my feet are. I can only be where my eyes are. I would like to know what you guys think. I'm not going to sully the pool, but yeah, I'd like to know, what do you guys think? Is black fatigue over, man? Is black fatigue over, or is people still pushing it? Damn. Shit. So sad, man. Wow. Hold on. What in the hell?
Four years after Delia Johnson was gunned down on a Brooklyn sidewalk, her killer has been sentenced. Today, emotions ran high in court as Johnson's family finally got a chance to speak. And News 12 Shakti Dennis has covered this trial since its beginning, and she was there today.
Applause broke out in the courtroom as a judge sentenced Claudia Benton to 23 years to life behind bars.
I feel she deserved more, but today is about.
Damn, she got 23 years for walking up and blowing somebody's brains out in broad daylight. I don't want to hear no more about complaining from black people. This woman got 23 years to life. She eligible for parole in like what? 20 years? Wait till you see what she did.
23 years to life behind bars.
I feel she deserved more, but today is about changing. Today is about forgiving.
The sentencing marks the end of a 4-year nightmare for the family of Delia Johnson, shot execution style in a Crown.
Yo, that's broad daylight murder. Cold-blooded murder. Okay? Cold-blooded murder. That's cold-blooded murder, man. That's cold-blooded murder, man. Cold-blooded murder. Salute to Goucho Malo, man. Goucho Malo says, okay, here's a little something for your anti-coyote fund. Yeah, man. You know, you salute to Goucho Malo. You know, they used to call me Coyote when I was younger. That's what they used to call me. Shout out to the GOAT, the one and only, the GOAT, a.k.a. Michael Babe Ruth Jordan, a.k.a. Mount Rushmore, a.k.a. the GOAT, Christy. Shout out to Christy, man. Salute. Make sure you guys hit that like button, man. Smash that like button. Salute to everybody watching on Op Nation Gold. Shout out to everyone watching on Op Nation Gold. We got Oakview, Montauk, Charles, Guy McMullen, Ugo Van. The Locks over there, Uncle Mac. Shout out to all you guys, man. Rocking on Op Nation Gold, man. Let me look at these polls, man. These polls, these dueling polls. Okay, so about 60% of people say that Black fatigue movement has lost steam amongst conservatives. I mean, about 40%. My bad. About 40% say it's lost steam. Yeah, man. I knew that was gonna happen though. We all knew that they weren't gonna that they were gonna. It was just a fad. It's no big deal. They talked about it for a week and a half, and now they're on to something else. They're on to something else.
Family of Delia Johnson shot execution style on a Crown Heights sidewalk in 2021.
I am so glad that this is over.
In an emotional victim statement, Johnson's mother asking why and pouring her heart out to Banton, a woman she considered like a daughter who even lived with the family at times.
It felt good because it was a release.
46-year-old Banton listened with tears streaming.
She's 46? My God. These 4 years have been hard on her, man.
Down her cheeks as Johnson's family described feeling betrayed.
I'll never see my sister again.
Johnson's 21-year-old daughter, currently deployed with the Air Force, appeared by video in uniform, struggling to put her pain into words, saying at least her mother didn't suffer. Banton didn't address the family for legal reasons, according to her attorney, but he says her silence shouldn't be mistaken for indifference.
But it's very difficult for someone to absorb that type of speech from people that you know and love.
The judge even grew emotional as she spoke about the deep, lasting pain Johnson's family has endured.
And it ain't easy, but I know one day it will get better.
Wow. Let's check in on New Orleans, man. Let's see. What's up with our inmates, man.
Law enforcement across the area search for the remaining 6 people who escaped from the Orleans Parish.
Okay, 6 left. I think they caught him. But they say 6 left, baby. They all look the same. All you niggas look alike. So maybe it's a different one.
jail Friday.
Authorities say the Orleans Justice Center maintenance worker Sterling Williams helped them escape. Williams says one of the escapees, Antoine Massey, threatened to stab him if he didn't help. Now,
I believe that. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that somebody threatened to stab him if he didn't help.
Sterling Williams helped them escape. Williams says one of the escapees, Antoine Massey, threatened to stab him if he didn't help. Now, a local provider of electronic monitors says that Massey should never have been placed in the general jail population to begin with.
Matt Dennis calls Massey an escape artist with a dangerous history, as Rob Masson reports.
When it comes to the arrest of Orleans jail maintenance worker Sterling Williams, Matt Dennis says he wasn't surprised.
And you're astonished that they keep this level of risk on the first floor of that jail.
Dennis with ASAP Release Electronic Monitors is talking about escapee Antoine Massey, who was accused in court documents of threatening to stab Williams prior to the jailbreak if Williams didn't cut off water to the toilet that was yanked out to provide an escape route for 10 inmates.
There isn't an ounce of this man's history that doesn't escape.
Dennis says Massey, who's wanted for rape and kidnapping in St. Tammany, as well as domestic abuse and theft in Orleans Parish, had prior escapes dating back to 2007 and was no longer a candidate for one of the hundreds of electronic monitors placed on Orleans defendants.
He had no intention of wearing an ankle monitor. 2 hours. And he cut it off. And we had him in jail pretty quickly. We went and got him.
Massey was one of 10 inmates seen jumping off of a back prison loading dock Friday morning, caught on a camera that was not being monitored in real time.
For that footage that we've all now seen, where you have the 10 inmates running outside the facility, is there a door sensor there that would alert the command center that that door is now open? Some kind of alarm that goes off?
No, that is not an exit door.
As New Orleans City Council members investigate vulnerabilities in the prison security system, Matt Dennis is helping police in trying to locate escapees like Massey.
These escapes happen. It was NOPD and state police and U.S. Marshals went instantly into our offender management system and identified the individuals in there that had previously worn ankle monitors.
And Matt Dennis says when someone cuts off an ankle monitor, he notifies the public immediately. It took more than 7 hours for the sheriff's office to realize the escape had occurred and notify the public after Friday's escape.
As your sheriff,
Oh God. Black women. This is the other black woman. Where's the one with the glasses, man? Where's she at, man? We ain't seen her in a minute, man. Is that her next to her? No, that ain't her. Where glasses at, man? There go grandma. Ain't nothing but women running. Nothing but women running the law enforcement down there, man. That's crazy, man. Salute to Eric S., man, Ock Nation Hall of Fame. He says, when I first heard the term black fatigue, I thought people were stealing your talking points. People steal stuff from you and not give you credit. I noticed that, Eric. People don't mention me because they steal my stuff. People ignore me. I hear people give all types of random YouTubers credit and stuff, and they act like I don't exist. Why do they act like I don't exist? Because they steal my stuff. They can't even acknowledge my existence because they steal my stuff. So they can say, oh, check this guy out. Check that guy out. Look at this guy. I love this guy. And it's like they never mention my name because they steal my stuff. No one has the perspective I have, man. I got a unique life, man. I'm like Forrest Gump, man. I'm like Forrest Gump, and I have a unique insight, man. You know, just being me, man. Just being just being blessed by God for unique insight, but also have had a lot of different experiences, man, that have led me to also add to my insight. But yeah, I hear my stuff all the time, man. I don't be mad though, because I want it to get out there. I want these talking points to get out there. So if somebody with a bigger platform uses them, I ain't mad. I'm happy. I'm like, shit, it don't matter if you saying it or I'm saying it. It's being said. But it just be interesting. It do be funny how dudes be like ignoring me and shit. And I be like, damn, man. I be like, damn, yo. We in the same space, man. We supposed to be rocking together, man. Them niggas know. I mean, they like if they say my name, they think that people gonna be like, oh, okay, so that's where you got it from. They think their fans gonna instantly make the connection. Oh, so that's where you got it from. Nah, man, you ain't gotta do that, man. Ain't gotta be no cold war between us, man. I'm friendly, man. I'm a nice guy, man. I'm nice, man. Very nice person, man. You said, Christy said, I get mad for you. Yeah. Hey, yeah, no, I hear it. I trust me, I hear it. I hear the talking points, man. I hear people still. And the thing about it is, I know that's not how they think. Like, they don't have that view. That's not their worldview. That's not their lane. That's not their. And then I hear, and I be like, oh, okay. But I'm telling you, I really do be happy, man, because some of these thoughts I have, that YouTube won't let me grow. YouTube will not let me grow. YouTube hijacked my shit. Shout out to Barry B, man. Barry B in the building. So she said, Octa originator of everything. Yeah, man. Listen, man, let me tell you something. I always say, man, I got a lot of stuff from Tommy. You know what I'm saying? I gotta pay homage to Tommy. I always gotta pay homage to Tommy. He put the wind beneath all our wing. All these dudes got a bunch of stuff from Tommy. If they didn't get actual things he says, all these dudes got the wind beneath their wings, the wind at their back from Tommy, the balls. They got the kahunas from Tommy. Or the door got knocked down to where he normalized certain things to where you can just come in and say them and people ain't gonna look at you like you crazy now, because he already took all the bullets for it and knocked down the doors. So I give credit, man, to my forefathers. I got a lot of stuff from let me see, who else did I get? Damn, it's like I'm drawing a blank right now, man. I'm straight drawing a blank right now, man. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff from Colin, man. Shout out to Colin, man. Colin Flaherty, man. Yeah, definitely got a lot of inspiration from Colin Flaherty, man. His bravery, man. Like how brave he was, man. You know what I mean? His fearlessness, man. You know, his fearlessness. You know, his ability to keep getting back up when they deplatformed him all those times, and shadow banned him and stuff. Shout out to Colin Flaherty. Definitely got a lot from Colin Flaherty, man. Yeah, R.I.P. Colin, man. Yeah, you want to keep his name alive, man. Colin Flaherty was he's a legend in this place, man. Shout out to Colin Flaherty, definitely somebody that I got a lot of inspiration from, man. Got a lot of respect for Colin. Who else, man? Who else is out there? But I can't think of yeah. I like Jesse Lee Peterson. Now I won't say that I got anything from him because I had already, I started watching him later. I got into Jesse Lee Peterson a little later, maybe like 4 years ago. So I really didn't get anything from Jesse Lee Peterson, but his perspective and his conviction is definitely admirable, man. Yeah, Jesse Lee Peterson is he a real one. He real when it comes to talk about the past. Like we do talk about, Jesse Peterson says it wasn't that bad back in the day, back in the 60s and the 50s. He said it wasn't that bad. And we do talk about that a lot here on this channel. When we do the old videos, the classic videos, Hezekiah News. Yeah, Hezekiah News, that's another one. Shout out to Hezekiah News, man. He's a great contributor to this channel. Now I know he's probably woke. Like Hezekiah News might be woke, but he's still unwittingly contributed to this channel a lot, man. You said Gavin? Yeah, I mean, I know who he is and I'm aware of him, but I wouldn't say he's one of my inspirations. It's kind of like how the NBA, how there's a lot of good players in the NBA, but you got your favorite players. You might not like every player in the NBA that's good. Like I don't like James Harden. I'm not a big fan of James Harden. I don't like Paul George like that. I'm not a big fan of Joel Embiid. It's a lot of players in the NBA that are great. Jason Tatum, I'm not a big fan of. And they're really good, but they just not my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a lot of great content creators out there, but I all of them aren't my cup of tea, even though they may be in the same league as me, same lane as me. They not, all of them ain't my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Westbrook. I'm not a big fan of Westbrook, but so like of all every I'm not gonna sit here and act like every conservative commentator is like an inspiration to me or that I like them or something like that. Some of them are just blah. Some of them are just Some of them just they doing their thing. They good soldiers. Yeah, I like Minister Jack. Yeah, Minister Jack is cool, man. I like him, man. As far as that space, man. He's kind of made. I've seen him evolve over the years, man. He's close, man, to taking that red pill all the way, man. But it's like, yeah, man. He's seeing niggas for what they are lately, man. Last couple of years, he's seeing niggas for what they are. And listen, man, when you a hood dude and you finally see niggas for what they are, it's disappointing because it's like you've been had. You've been had. You've been had, man. You've been had. You've been bamboozled. It's going to be a transition. It's going to be the stages you're going to take to deal with that. You know what I mean? It's the stages you're going to take to deal with that, man. To come to grips with that. Like, God damn, niggas really ain't shit. But I'm a nigga. And my family full of niggas. Yeah, but it's the same thing I always say. Every nigga ain't gonna carjack you. But if there's a carjacking in your city, you can 100 guarantee it was a nigga that did it. Every nigga don't talk loud on their phone in public. But if you on the train or the bus and somebody talking loud as shit on their phone, telling all their business, it's 100% guaranteed gonna be a nigga. And a lot of people can't come to grips with that. They want to say, not all, not all. Yeah, I know not all, nigga. Ain't nobody say it was all. We just saying every time it happens, it's one of them. That's all we saying. That's all I'm saying. And that's okay, too. And that's all right. Obviously, it's okay. Everybody putting up with it. Ain't nobody going around rounding up niggas, putting them in goddamn ovens and shit. It is okay. Everybody dealing with it. The whole world dealing with it the best way they can. It's all right. Niggas and flies. Niggas and flies. He said all these problems caused by female leadership. But what caused female leadership? There had to be a problem before female leadership. And listen, man, all my best teachers was females, man. There's a role for women. Let's not act like we all didn't love our teachers, man, in elementary school and junior high school and shit. I remember all my Miss Gaines Carter in the first grade. Dr. Foster was my second grade teacher. Shirley Wilson was my third and fourth grade teacher. Listen, I had Miss Reed in the 8th grade. I'm telling you, man, let's stop acting like women ain't good at nothing. I think women are good teachers when kids are very young. And some can make good professors in college. Let's stop acting like women ain't good for nothing. It's just I don't want her to be my fucking police chief. Unless she's like a hard ass. I don't want a mommy for my police chief. I don't want a mommy as my jail warden. He said women can cook and teach, that's it. I think men are the best chefs, though. My favorite chefs are men, though. I think women cook because that's kind of like the role society gives for them. I think the best like chefs, like as far as like, let me think of some chefs, some actual chefs. I used to watch a lot of Food Network, but yeah, a lot of the great chefs are men. If I wanted somebody to cook a steak, I want a guy to cook a steak for me. Halls. Bobby Flay, yeah, he's very good. Bobby Flay is very good, man. He's very good, man. Very, very good. What's my man? Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay. I mean, he just a master, man. He said Tommy talking voice. Oh, Tommy said that the best chefs are men. Okay. Hey, listen, man. Some things we might just be agree with. I don't know. But I agree. I agree. I think the best chefs are men though. Like as far as like just like chefs. I'm not talking about cooking. Yeah, my wife cooks every night and shit like that. And my mom cooked every night. I get that. I'm talking about like I used to watch Chopped, right? I used to watch Chopped a lot. Chopped. Who remembers that show Chopped on the Food Network? It was either on Food Network, one of them channels. Chopped, competitive cooking, where they get like 30 minutes to make a dish, and they give you all these ingredients and they weird ingredients, and they give you 30 minutes to make a dish. Men think on their feet a lot better. Men, you know, can solve problems a lot better. Do I fuck with hood services? Do I listen to Tom? No, I don't listen to Tom Lakers. Who is Tom Lakers? Um, oh, he the OG of the Manosphere? No, I don't know Tom Lakers, man. Um, I just knew the black Manosphere. I don't know anybody in the white Manosphere. I only know the black Manosphere. I never like got into the white Manosphere. But but salute to them too over there, man. Um, oh yeah, Patrice O'Neal, man. I love Patrice O'Neal. I got into Patrice O'Neal late too. When Patrice O'Neal was alive, I remember him on Fox News every now and then. And he always thought he was, very engaging and very entertaining, and he always very thoughtful. But I didn't really get into Patrice O'Neal until maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, where I started like going back and listening to Opie and Anthony, his appearances on there, and his his stand up, and that's when I got an appreciation for him, man. He is a he had it, man. He had that um presence and comfortability in front of the people. He 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 talked. He was very talented, very talented, very talented showman, man. I wish I had when he was alive. Um, it would have been. But I did. I just wasn't. I just no. I was into what I was into back then. But yeah, seeing him now, I'm like, wow, what a presence, man. Like he on the microphone, he got the presence of like if he was a rapper, he like got the presence of like somebody like LL Cool J, like where it's like he just so confident on the mic, man. Fucking Patrice O'Neal, he just so confident. In front of people talking and shit. Salute to him, man. Yeah, I like Anthony Cumia, man. Anthony Cumia funny, man. He's funny. He's funny. He's funny as hell, man. Um, Devin Tracy, yeah. Atheism Unlimited, whatever. Atheism Undefeated or something. Devin Tracy, definitely, man. Definitely somebody I used to listen to, man. I definitely listened to Devin Tracy, man. He was based, man. Yeah, T.K. Kirkland is very good, but I think Patrice O'Neal is a little better than T.K. Kirkland. But yeah, T.K. Kirkland is very, very, very has a very powerful presence on stage. Atheism is unstoppable. There you go. Yeah, people. I don't know who Jimmy Norton is. I have no idea who Jimmy Norton is, man. Yeah, of course, David Manning, the Reverend David Manning. Yeah, definitely respect the Reverend David Manning, man. I mean, he's one of a kind, man. He's one of a kind. He's in Harlem saying that shit. Imagine living in Harlem saying that shit. He's saying that shit from Harlem, the trenches. Everybody continue to hit the like button. Support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Y'all got me in here talking about all these YouTubers. Somebody one of them gonna get mad and shit and try to like beef with me or something. Yeah, support the channel, man, for trying to get me in trouble with another YouTuber. Trying to get me in trouble with other YouTubers and shit, man. Support the channel, man. Try to get a nigga in trouble with other YouTubers. Next thing you know, nigga gonna be mad at me, man. I heard what you said about me, you bitch ass nigga. Pull up. Some shit like that or something. I don't. Or the white guy's gonna be like, they're gonna try to call me the N-word since it's black fatigue season. The white dude might call me the N-word or some shit. Damn. And he said he wrote Lil Durk in prison and told him I'm talking about his mom. Yikes. Everybody right now, if you haven't hit the like button, hit it right now. If you have not hit the like button on either platform, hit it right now. Smash that son of a bitch. Please. For the culture, man. He said Bill Burr has been this. Yeah, Bill Burr's married to a black woman, man. He's in a tough space, man. You married to a black woman? Like Bill Burr, he roasted the WNBA when nobody cared about it. Now everybody talking about the WNBA and he won't touch it because he's married to a black woman. And being married to a black woman is tough, man. Because everything revolves around them. Every topic they think they can find offense in every topic, no matter who you're talking about, what you're talking about. A black woman can find some way where it's like detrimental to her or it's something against her. So if you live with one of them, you're a comedian or you're a fucking pundit, it's rough, man. Now, I would venture that most of the conservative guys are married to white women or date white chicks because it's hard to do conservatism when you're married to a black woman or you're dating a black woman. It's hard, man. He said one person that has zero charisma, zero confidence, zero stage presence, nothing is Ice Cube. Yeah, I'll be shocked, man. Like, cause Ice Cube on the mic and Ice Cube in interviews is like literally night and day. It's like night and day. Ice Cube is kind of like he like a hermit or a recluse when you hear him talk. But on the mic, he's one of the goats. He's one of my goats. He definitely one of my goats on the microphone. But yeah, I've seen that. It's a lot of people that when you get to see their personalities, you're like, wow, that's it. Oh wow, like that like you're disappointed. Like, oh. Kim Klacik, yeah, she's she's a black conservative woman. Yeah, I ain't heard too much from her lately though. Harris Faulkner, yeah, she's doing her thing. Everyone smash the like button right now, man. Yeah, Tree, she went woke and then she came back. What's her name? God damn, Tree of Life, I think that's her name. She had gone woke for like a year or so, right? Am I correct? She went woke. She was super based. I mean, she was based as, and then I think around George Floyd, she went woke for a little bit, but now she's back. Yeah. Shout out to Sage Steele. Yeah, Sage Steele. Salute to Sage Steele. Treehouse, yeah. I should have 500K subs there. Yeah, I should, man. I should have 500K subs, man. I should, but the subs don't really matter, man. What matters is the support, man. Take the $5 challenge. Support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat. Share the videos on social media. Hit the like button. You know, I got everything is the way it's supposed to be, man. I got as many subs as I'm supposed to have. It's the underground, man. Everybody ain't invited, man. You said you think Cube deep down knows he messed up? You talking about starting gangster rap? Well, if Cube feel he messed up by starting gangster rap, which popularizing it and making it mainstream, which there's some truth to that. All of them were complicit in that. But if it wasn't them, they would have just chose some other niggas. They had to chose some other niggas to do it. Now, but here's the thing. Cube need to sell everything he owns and donate it to the poor and go live in the woods, eat berries and fish and start fires with wood and shit. Unless he's gonna do that, I don't want to hear that he feel bad about it. If you feel bad about that shit, liquidate all your assets and donate them to the poor and go live in the woods. Yeah, Ice-T. Yeah, he's I saw an interview with him the other day. The most prolific actor, rapping actor. You mean Schoolie D? He said Steady B. You mean Schoolie D? I don't know where gangster rap was started. I really honestly don't. I think it sprang up a lot of places at the same time because that's what the executives are looking for. I think executives, whatever music they're looking for, they're going to sign acts that doing that type of music. You're too short. He said, "I hate Cheryl Swoop." That's random. All right, man. Let me get back to the show, man. Let me get back to the regularly scheduled programming, man. Let me get back to regularly scheduled programming, man. That was a nice detour, man. I'm trying, yeah.
Until that happened.
A prosperous day selling lemonade soon turned sour for best friends Chase and Julie.
We thought it would be a good idea and it would be safe, but until that happened.
They whipped up a batch of lemonade and set up shop a block away from their homes along Mountain View Street and Terra Vista Parkway, a busier intersection where they figured they'd get more customers. But a patron turned predator is one thing they didn't expect.
He looks hot, he looks sweaty. We should probably give him something.
The girls say a young man approached their stand and told them he didn't have any money. He looked sweaty, like he had been running. They felt bad for him and gave him a free lemonade.
He just walked away drinking the cup of lemonade. He was like this, gave us a thumbs up.
Moments later, the guy walked back, flipped over their stand, stole their turquoise money box, and ran off with nearly $30 of their hard-earned cash.
We were going to run after him, and we started to, but then we didn't know if he had any weapons on him.
The girls say a woman walking by saw one of them crying and called police.
There's a little pathway, and we cut him off like through the street.
In the meantime, Chase's brother saw the guy running with the box and confronted him.
After we took the box and started walking away, he started getting very hostile.
Luckily, within 10 minutes, an officer arrived and arrested 18-year-old Santini Tate.
It's not something you think is going to happen when you let your kids go sell lemonade in their neighborhood that we love.
And the girls say they're not sure whether or not they'll start selling lemonade again anytime soon. And as for that alleged thief, he was booked under strong arm robbery. In Rancho Cucamonga, I'm Lena Bovian, KTLA 5 News.
You'd be surprised how many stories there were on this, man. I could pull up probably 10 stories of niggas robbing lemonade stands. Just from memory over the years. I can pull up probably 10. That's not a very uncommon thing. The robbing of a lemonade stand is not uncommon. It's not uncommon at all, man.
So what did you order?
This drink, clearly haven't touched it.
Okay.
And some chocolate chip cookies or something.
Did you get the cookies?
They're in the truck.
They're in the truck.
Yeah.
So you got everything you paid for?
I just want to tell you 100% they want to do this for the last chance. I'm talking to him now. I got you. You're going to leave or you're getting arrested.
So here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you on the property anymore.
Where's the lady that said she don't want me on the property?
The manager said
because
that.
they told me to get her name too.
Okay, so
When you give
so
me her
hold on
name-
a second. Let me
Okay.
explain it.
That's fine.
With management not wanting you on the property, they have the right to ask you to leave.
And I also have the right to
at that point in time.
Corporate told me to get the name. So before I can know who it was, they sat there and had called you guys.
So let's slow down a little bit. Whenever management asks someone to leave, it does become trespassing
She's
at
not
that
a
point.
manager though.
Anyone who is an employee here has the right to ask you to
Just
leave.
said manager, and she's not a manager.
I know my rights.
I already talked to corporate, and they said get her name. You're constantly keep getting in my face, and I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I'm not going to do it. I asked you nicely, can you please give me her name so I can leave? I will leave after I get her name so I can let corporate know. You can stop looking. I'm talking to him. He's been more calm than you have. You've been weird. Please leave me alone. Anyways, can you please get her name?
I can try to get her name, however, I cannot force her to give me her name.
So that's crazy because you can force me to leave, but you can't
Because
force her
at
to
this
give me her
point you
name.
are trespassing because we warned you to leave the property.
Anyways, can you please go give me her name?
Why not just leave? Like
That's bowing to the white man.
Yeah. There's got to be some kind of impetus keeping her there, because you hear what law enforcement is here. They enforce the law, and
I
they're
don't know,
telling
man.
you to leave.
I've seen so many videos like this where they just refuse, thinking that like if I just dig in my heels, I don't have to do it. And it's a victory for them to be dragged out in handcuffs, screaming.
Yeah.
And you know that son man that robbed the lemonade stand, you kind of got to cut him some slack. You know, when you're out there running around out all day on a hot day, creating black fatigue, you need to get cooled off. You develop a thirst.
Well, they gave him a free lemonade before he walked. You know, he walked away, and then he came back and robbed him.
And he tipped him with fatigue. Here's some fatigue.
Wow. Yeah, they learned the lessons.
I noticed YouTube's getting really spicy with deleting comments now too. You know, I try to walk the line, and the comments just get, you know, shot down.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy.
Give me her name.
Let me see if I can grab her name real quick.
Thank you. Now you can step away from me.
I'm not going anywhere.
You can step away.
Look, I don't know why you think you can tell me what to do. Like,
And
this,
I don't care.
you're the one who's
You
not.
think I'm not gonna
Look,
say
I
anything?
tried to nicely get you
No,
to
you
leave.
did not.
You don't want to listen. I'm
Please
telling you what.
step out of my
I'm not going anywhere. In fact, if you don't get the name, you don't leave. You are getting arrested and you're going to jail. That's what's going to happen to you.
We'll see.
Okay, we'll see if you don't leave. You got
What if that's her kid back there?
You can get out of my face.
It's not happening.
It is.
I've got a real quick question.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a manager here?
Okay, so technically I'm the shift supervisor on
So
duty.
you're in charge?
Our manager is going to be here in like 2 minutes.
Okay. So she agreed. I guess she either called corporate, did something with corporate, and they're saying that they need a manager's name or someone who's in charge of their name.
Okay.
If I can get just something to get her to leave, either that or we're gonna arrest her. So
Yeah, no, I can totally do that. Well, you can let her know that is a charge.
that's all I need.
They tried pretty much everything to de-escalate the situation, and it's just kind of seemed like no matter what was said or done, she was getting more and more infuriated, more verbally aggressive towards us, cussing, screaming, things like that, and then even went as far as to back up the drive-through for however many minutes, and then came inside and was still trying to cause problems with races. So
We've come a long way since 2020. Starbucks.
I don't know if I did the right thing here. I didn't want to escalate it.
So she backed up the drive-through for a long time before she came inside the store. Wow. And look at these fire-breathing dragon white people, man. Like it's just awful. Like look at this woman. She's just a fire-breathing dragon, man.
Racist.
I know.
Allowed back on the property, so she won't be allowed up here anymore.
You're still in my face.
I'm not going anywhere.
Neither am I. You're so cute, though. You're just
Damn.
so adorable.
It is pretty nuts. It's like this is only going to go one way.
He doesn't have to give you a name.
They don't care.
We keep telling you everything. You're the one who won't listen.
No, he said he was going to get the manager name.
Hey, I do honestly know that she, even though she's so cute, she doesn't have a kid with her too. Probably 10, 8. Her name is
her name is. That was not the manager that came. She just came.
She is the one who is in charge.
She was not here though. You're lying, and so are they.
I'm not lying. It's all on body
That is
camera.
not her name. And you can look on the camera and see that was not her name.
All right, so
this woman doesn't have anything better to do. Wow. So this is the thing now. This is gonna be the graduation thing. Well, at least they're not killing each other at the graduations yet. You know.
Mm-hmm.
It says a white guy who was obviously having a rough day, which resulted in him taking public transportation, asked politely for some courtesy while on a phone call. Black ladies, of course, flip out. He immediately, I would never have done that. Like, what do you mean courtesy? We're on a public bus. But there's different. No one cares about your phone call.
Yes. Gotta get headphones. Yes, because this is the bus, baby. You need a car, sir. Okay, that's enough.
Maybe there could be a special section on the bus where certain people sit, and then you don't have these. Like you could paint a line on the floor that would show where like people who talk loudly on the phone can sit.
I know it's no cell phone. No, I'm just asking for some consideration for this. That's all. This is public transportation. I know that, but normally people don't talk that loud. That's why I was asking for a minute. Your whole conversation is loud for the entire bus, sir.
Never mind.
I know. That's why you shouldn't say things like that. I know it's pointless, but your whole conversation is louder than us.
Yeah, because I couldn't hear the woman.
But you got to get headphones, sir. That's why you got to get headphones. If you had headphones, you would be able to hear your conversation and not ours.
This guy grew up in a completely different world.
Or car.
When he was a kid, the world was completely different. You know, just the way people interacted, the courtesies that were.
You have a blessed day, sir. You try to upset for no reason.
I mean, I don't think these women were. I don't think these women were necessarily in the wrong. Like, if you're on the phone on a public bus and you tell me to quiet down my voice, and I'm having a conversation with someone else, and you ask me to quiet down, it's just not going to go well. This is one of them ones. I don't think this is whack fatigue. I think this is just something that like two older women talking, probably loud as hell, but whatever.
Were they on their phones or to each other?
To each other, I guess. And he's on the phone and he can't hear because of the hum of the bus. The bus is, the hum from driving the bus is loud, traffic and all that stuff. And then them talking. Hey, can y'all keep it down? Like what? To some strangers, to some sisters that you don't know? That's like fighting words, man.
It is. It's a different culture.
Yeah. Let's see this. The culture is beautiful, man. Look at this, man.
Lesson 7. You ever in a high-speed chase and the police getting up on you, folk, and you got that gun with that switchy on it on bro grade, you gonna have to detach the switch off that bitch and eat that motherfucker. I'm sorry, folk. You have to avoid them 10, 20 years, bro. Niggas out here getting real football numbers for them buttons on bro grave, and you already know we solid. We don't tell on nobody. So if we ever do get caught and go down with anything, bro, it's not gonna be a button, folk. We gonna eat that motherfucker on bro grave. Put that metal device in your fucking mouth and swallow that motherfucker on bro. Do not hesitate or nothing, folk. This is a life or death situation, bro, because you do not want to get all these years for no motherfucker button, bro. There's other ways to to avoid this stupid ass situation on, bro. You could easily just throw the pipe out the window, boom, and risk the police finding the motherfucker pipe with the button on it. You don't want to do that. They're gonna still tie the fucking gun to you. So at the end of the day, if they up on your ass, bro, you're gonna have to detach the fucking switch off that fucking gun and eat that motherfucker switch, bro. I'm sorry, folks. You might sitting here like, damn, bro, tweaking, bro. I'm not finna eat no motherfucker switch. All right, then go ahead and eat up that time on bro grave. So think about what the fuck you gonna do on, bro. Me, if I was in that position, man, I'm eating that motherfucking switch on, bro. They ain't finna send my ass up the river. Y'all ass tweaking. And remember, you could do anything you put your mind to. Don't forget that.
There you go. Some handy advice.
Yeah, man.
I mean, there's other options.
Lesson 7. You have been.
There are other options.
Well, I mean, the obvious ones: don't have the switch. Don't go riding around with a Glock. You know, that's not really an option, though. So the best option is to swallow it.
Let's see what this brother got to say.
To my fellow white people, do y'all know why black
Hello?
people haven't got over it? And y'all know what I'm talking about. It's because we never got our get back, bruh. Think about it, bruh. Our whole motherfucking nobody ever got to do anything, bruh. Imagine if somebody walked up to you today and just slapped the shit, smacked fire up out your dumb ass. And you didn't do shit. That shit gonna haunt you for the rest of your life. You know why it's gonna haunt you? Because a motherfucker just came and did whatever the fuck to you, and you never got to do anything back to them. So no, we're never going to forget it. We're never going to let it go until we get our get back. However the fuck that has to happen. Fuck a reparation. Hey, okay. To my fellow white people, do y'all know why black people haven't got over it? And y'all know what I'm talking about. It's because we never got our get back, bruh. Think about it, bruh. Our whole motherfucking nobody ever got to do anything, bruh. Imagine if somebody walked up to you today and just slapped the shit, smacked fire up out your dumb ass. And you didn't do shit. That shit gonna haunt you for the rest of your life. You know why it's gonna haunt you? Because a motherfucker just came and did whatever the fuck to you.
What he's talking about is the black psyche about disrespect. That's why a lot of blacks get killed over disrespect because of this psychological quirk or whatever.
That's what he's talking about? I thought he was talking about slavery, and therefore they're never going to be okay. Isn't that what he's talking about?
No, but he's comparing it to like getting slapped by somebody and not doing nothing back.
Well, if they're never going to get over it, I was just about to sign that reparations check, but if it's not going to do any good, I'll just put it back in my pocket.
Oh man, no. Go ahead, sign it.
I don't want to. It'll probably just piss them off if I give them reparations.
No. Sign it, man. Sign it. Everybody, support the channel. We need some sponsors, man. Somebody sponsor the show, man. Let's see if we get some sponsors, man. Hit the like button, hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App.
Oprah's looking. Whoopi's looking good.
Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again.
Whoopi looks refreshed.
Whoopi wish she looked like this. Whoopi wish. Whoopi on her best day never looked this good. Whoopi is a rough looking sister, man.
Do not call that black lady at your job by her first name if that's not what she asked for. Put a miss in front for a little respect. If that person has a doctorate and is a doctor, call them doctor each and every time. Put some respect on their name, unless they tell you otherwise. Okay, calling an older black woman or an older black person, period, by just their first name without any kind of title it's a quick way to put yourself on someone's bad side. Do not call that black lady at your job by her first name.
Wow.
It's like a threat.
Yeah. She was bleeding and hurt. Then police say he raped her instead of getting help. Brendan Jones, 40, allegedly sexually assaulted a woman rather than taking her to the hospital after a car crash.
Imagine.
that's a rough one though, man. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. There's it's bad, man, and then there's that, man. That's the next level, man.
You gotta get it while you can, I guess. 40-year-old Dusty.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, like, hey, man.
She could die any minute. You got to hurry and do it, or it'll be too late.
Right. Right. I mean, jeez. Jesus Christ. She's already moaning, so you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like,
as far as car accidents go, if you can actually get laid after a car accident, that's actually it's better, than just a car accident. At least she got laid.
Right. I don't wanna judge, man. I don't want to judge that guy, man. It ain't my job. It ain't my business to judge him, man.
I mean, and it's not like she's presenting the best version of herself for him either. She's all banged up, probably can't move. It's like he's gonna have to do all the work.
That's right. Exactly, man. Exactly, man. Man. And then she's a woman. What if the accident was her fault? Like
probably
the least she could do to, make it right.
Seems fair enough. She got into it head on and a rear ender.
Right. Right. And salute to him, man. Salute to Boy Kachina, man. Boy Kachina in the building. Think about this guy though. Think about the wherewithal he had, man. I mean, he's cool. This one cool customer, man. We might want to get him in one of our CIA training, man. Like as an agent, man. Get him in CIA agent school, man. He's a great candidate.
I don't know if I could pull off what he did. I don't know, man. Seeing a woman all mangled in a car, I don't know if I'd be able to get it up. I might have trouble. I'll be honest. It might be difficult.
Right. And imagine what she was thinking. Like, imagine if she was like some woke sister, right? Woke, like super woke, like my kings. Yeah, George Floyd is my kings and shit. And then while that's happening, like, how does she because she's gotta excuse that in somehow, this is the white man's fault. You know what I mean? Like, how did she blame that on the white man as he's like fucking her, like raping her while like in the car's like a pretzel and he's in there fucking her and shit. How did she blame that on the white man? Or institutional this or that's a tough one. And I know they would. I know they could find a way.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if he wore protection, like as a courtesy.
You mean the seatbelt?
Well, for her.
Well, I mean, in his mind, he might have thought, hey, man, if I put the seatbelt on,
don't want her getting away.
Yeah, seatbelt in the condom. That's kind of like, I mean, like double, like doing too much, man. Like
the courteous rapist.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
man.
That's a rough story, man. Yeah, like this is a rough one, man. Let me see if we can find more information on this, man. It says here are the facts. On September 15th, 2023, Brendan Jones, 40, picked up a woman from a food store near Dillard High School and was rear-ended in a car accident, injuring her. The woman, in pain and immobile, asked to be taken to a hospital. But Jones and his friend who picked them up after Jones fled the crash scene refused to. Also, someone else came and scooped him up from the crash scene. So they just left his car there. Like, oh, all right, fine. Instead, they took her to Jones's home, where she fell asleep in his bed, according to the Fort Lauderdale Police Department report. A rape kit processed in 2024 matched Jones' DNA, leading to his arrest for sexual battery. Jones is held in the Broward, Maine jail on $150,000 bond, facing charges for the assault.
Next time, call AAA.
Yeah, man. Wow.
Unbelievable. Is that in England? Daily Mail?
This looks like Right Caribbean.
That looks fake. Just the story, the headline, the picture, it all looks fake. You know what I mean? It's like this would have been a joke. This would have been someone's idea of like a funny.
I believe it now. After that story, I believe it, man. I believe this can happen, man. It says, I keep saying that if people look crazy, they probably are. These black dudes looking like the Rasta gangsters from Predator 2 are not okay.
Stop fucking running from me.
Guess the race of the person who did that. I'll tell you, they were black. Of course.
Stop fucking running from me.
Guess the race of the person who did that. I'll tell you, they were black. Of course they were. And this is why I don't even like to be around my own people. If I was that person in the other booth that got rants all over me, bro, I would have been so mad. Because why are you even doing that? And the person who did it in the comments was defending their actions, talking about it's funny, it's a joke. You're weird. You're weird, bro. Honestly, please be racist towards black people. Maybe that's going to help them stop being like this. Because there's no saving the black community at this point. They're loud, obnoxious, irritating, rude, ghetto. I don't like to be around them. They have more cons than pros. So yeah, hopefully black people can stop acting like this, because them acting like this impacts me, because people are going to automatically think I act like this. Because that's how racial profiling happens. I blame the people who act like this, not the people who racially profile me. Because if they didn't act like this, I wouldn't be getting racially profiled.
Yo, what the fuck did I just watch?
It's a sister, or what is that?
That looks like a brother.
You got a hair tied up in the back. Is weird the new insult now? I've seen a couple of videos where it's saying you're weird. Is that
yeah,
the new word?
Definitely. It been for a while. That dude was based. Little homie was based, man.
Yeah, you know what time it is. You know how we get down. What's that, an E? E for everyone, nigga.
Hey, where we at, gang? Where we at with it?
Connecticut. The block is hot, but the muzzle gets hotter. Fuck, nigga. Each of us has two loving parents.
Sure you do.
Shit.
Jimmy is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Jimmy, how are you?
I'm good, man.
Jimmy is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Jimmy, how are you?
Yeah, Larry, I'm doing well. Hey, when they go around at the cabinet meetings with Trump and kind of drool over him North Korean style, are you kind of embarrassed by that?
Is that your question? Were you embarrassed to watch Joe Biden drool for 4 years? Were you embarrassed to watch Joe Biden stumble going up and down the stairs? Were you embarrassed to watch Joe Biden trip on the stage? Were you embarrassed to watch Joe Biden avoid taking a cognitive test? Are you embarrassed that Trump took it and passed it with flying colors? Are you embarrassed the way Joe Biden pulled out of Afghanistan, leaving behind $7 billion of equipment? Leaving behind hundreds of Americans, thousands of Afghans? 13 service members killed at Abbey Gate. Several more injured, thousands Afghans killed. Very likely encourage Putin to invade Ukraine. Very likely encourage Hamas to slaughter Israelis on October 7. Are you embarrassed that Joe Biden said nobody told him that the Taliban would come back and that the Afghan government would dissolve, even though generals testified under oath that that was exactly the advice that he was given? Are you embarrassed that former Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summers, Democrat, served under Bill Clinton, told Joe Biden that all the spending would be inflationary? He did it anyway. Are you embarrassed we had 9% inflation? Are you embarrassed that gas prices under Joe Biden were 50% higher than under Donald Trump when he came into office? Are you embarrassed that all of these Democrats and much of the media covered up for Biden's cognitive decline? Are you embarrassed that Mike Johnson, the speaker, said that he'd had a private conversation with Joe Biden finally after all the aides were dismissed? He said, Mr. President, please explain to me why you signed an executive order banning the export of LNG, liquefied natural gas. And Biden said, I didn't do that. He said, Mr. President, yes, you did. No, I didn't. He goes, oh, I know what I did. I signed an executive order to study this. He said, no, you didn't. Does that embarrass you? None of this stuff embarrasses you. Are you embarrassed that for 4 years we were told you needed comprehensive immigration reform in order to close the southern border? Are you embarrassed that Donald Trump succeeded in closing the border in 30 days without any new legislation? Are you embarrassed by any of this? Are you embarrassed by all the waste, the fraud, and the abuse that Trump and Doge are finding? Does any of this stuff embarrass you? I'm serious.
You still with us, Ak?
Yep.
Larry keeps it real, man.
Yeah. I gotta bookmark this one. This was a very
the kid.
So, all three of them. All three of those were very interesting, man. All three of them. Yeah, I can see this definitely happening. We did a story in Philly, I think not too long ago, maybe like a year ago. Somebody got shot, and people came by and just took his wallet and stuff, kept it moving. Oh God. Let me go back to YouTube, man. So here you go. Make sure you support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, with the Super Chat, man. Hit the like button. Everyone smash that like button. Everyone smash that like button, man. Now, smash it. Smash that like button. Good, man.
Yo, what up, Bob?
What's happening, man?
Man, nothing much, man. Glad to see you. Another great show.
Oh man, thank you, man. I don't know if I didn't even know if tonight's show was any good, man, because I was kind of been all over the place. But yeah, salute, man. Glad that y'all are still enjoying the show, man. Let's see what else is going on out here, in these streets. Let's do DC, man. It's been DC. When I was in DC, I stayed in Alexandria, so I wasn't in the DC where things happen. So I just stayed in Alexandria. Stayed out the way last time. I wasn't in the trenches like I usually be. Let's see. What's DC talking about?
All right, some residents in D.C.'s Navy Yard have begun a very aggressive push to lower D.C.'s youth curfew to 8 p.m. or even earlier after what many...
Jesus Christ. 8? Yo, you got it's like, your sound is horrible. It's like all types of shit. When you unmute, it sound like, I don't know, it sound like you're a DJ and shit. and you're at a club or something.
Yikes!
And you in
All
the
right, I'm gonna
DJ
go
booth.
out.
You in the DJ booth at a club. 8 o'clock. Like, and listen, I'm for this. I know those little fuckers, those little teen fuckers in DC. They're awful. They're horrible. They're disrespectful. I don't even think Jimmy Fields. I don't even think you could imagine how disrespectful they are. Just like that car accident story, rape story. How like before you read that, you probably couldn't have imagined that. You couldn't imagine how disrespectful young people in DC are. They're horrible, god awful. But I still think 8 o'clock is a bit of a stretch, right? For a curfew, right? 8 o'clock. That's like sundown. They turn in DC into a sundown town. Sun goes down at like 7:30 in DC now. They talking about sundown town. Wow. Turn DC into a sundown town.
All right, some residents in DC's Navy Yard have begun a very aggressive push to lower DC's youth curfew to 8 p.m. or even earlier after what many people described as what you're seeing behind me, a very chaotic scene Saturday night. Dozens of teenagers, even younger children, swarmed the area.
Oh,
Some
those
of it, as you can
teenagers.
see there, was captured on video. There were reports of fights, disorderly conduct, and 2 alleged robberies. Tonight, we learned that some of the participants even made their way onto some of the upper floors of the apartment buildings behind me. News 4's Jackie Benson has the latest.
Summer hasn't even begun yet. Memorial Day weekend, the unofficial start to summer is this coming weekend. We've seen this twice in 3 weeks.
One thing that we can all do here is ask our city council members to lower the...
You got him on a fucking mask, man.
He looks like Luigi.
No, how do you know?
Yeah, right.
Summer hasn't even begun yet. Memorial Day weekend, the unofficial start to summer is this coming weekend. We've seen this twice in 3 weeks.
One thing that we can all do here is ask our city council members to lower the curfew.
Advisory Neighborhood Commissioner Edward Daniels, whose district includes...
I hate these fucking white liberals. This is the type of guy that would have been calling me a coon on or a race traitor or disgracing my race during the summer of Floyd when the white liberals got real bold. They got bold. They started, calling black people sellouts and shit like that. And he's the type of white liberal that are fucking like he won't talk to his favorite uncle that like took him to fucking baseball fucking practice every day when he was a kid because he voted for Trump.
Yeah.
And now because of the kids are terrorizing his neighborhood in his little upscale apartment complex and shit. Now he wants them to fucking be he wants to mandate that they be in the house at like 7 o'clock. Fuck you, faggot. I hate these fucking bitch ass fucking, and I know these motherfuckers like I know a lot of these liberals, white DC liberals personally. Once that shit come knocking on their door, yo, listen, they can hear that a kid like committed like 18 carjackings in an hour, right? And well, I mean, you could tell that to them, and they wouldn't mention one of the victims. They would just be like, he needs help. It's so sad that this white industrial complex has caused him to have to carjack 18 cars in an hour. It's really sad. Second that shit hits their door, man, make them niggas go in the house at 7 o'clock. I hate these faggots, man.
You got a new guy in the back.
I mean, I can't stand them. I hate these white liberals with a passion.
And he's still wearing the mask. Like he's got to go get another booster when this is all over.
Yeah, he's gonna go get boosted, man. Hey, gonna go get the booster. You like, first I have to take my butt plug out first. No, they're like, you can leave it in. You can leave it in. You can leave it in. Like, oh, okay. Do you share my resentment? That's horrible. Do you share my resentment, new guy, of these liberals?
It's kind of tough to say because I feel like he can't say that. Like we can't say that we need to have a curfew only for blacks. So he's kind of like he's kind of stuck, you know.
Well, when he says teen curfew in D.C., it's blacks.
No, for sure it is, but like let's not pretend that we're going to be able to actually create a law that makes it so that only black people have a curfew at 7.
Yeah, no, I got you. Other kids will get caught up in the drag net. Yes, they will get caught up in the net.
Yeah.
The kids that know better than going out after 7 are just going to be staying home anyway, too.
Like,
yeah, go ahead.
Let's suppose that he's aware of this. Just like any other white person in America, he's unable to express it.
Yeah, but the reason the city's so out of control, yes, DNA and all that stuff, but these people rolled back so many laws in 2020. I mean, they rolled everything back. Like they basically just turned it into fucking African village.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. So you're correct on that. So basically, there's just no solutions then.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that now that they're looting and just basically just chimping out, because where this guy lives in the Navy Yard, let me show you a video where he lives at, because it used to be like chimp out, you know what I'm saying, in the 80s, but then it got gentrified, and then the whites took it over, and they turned it into a nice area, man. And it's been a nice area for about 20 years. The you know, right near it's right near the water, and it's a very nice neighborhood. Um, let me show you a video. But it's just like they're fine with everything. They're soulless. They don't care about the victims. Soon as that shit touches their yard, their area, man, they're like fucking draconian.
Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson is really the father of the Navy Yard. He was very concerned about the attack on Washington by the British. So he saw to it that a Navy Yard was built here. The naval ports were in the New England colonies. Washington was a nothing. After the turn of the century, from 1800 to 1900, this became a more industrial site. It needed labor. And labor is what drew people to the Navy Yard. Nowhere else in the city had that industrial population. Labor means not rich people, but immigrant people. Irish, Italians, Germans, and before 1865, slaves and free blacks. There were lots of working class houses. The streets were lined with them. World War II, 26,000 people worked 24 hours a day, making all the technology that went into war. It was an industrial site. It's what happened all over the country where there were industrial sites. The land was polluted. And it is no secret that in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, people didn't come to Southeast. All of the little shops and the little stores that depended on the foot traffic that went in and out of the Navy Yard were gone. And as they were gone, you had derelict places grow up. It was an open drug market.
Are you muted? I think you're muted.
You notice when she started to use the dog whistles in the 70s and 80s? She, without saying who was there, she said who was there.
Yeah, she can't really help it.
She said it without saying it.
Yeah, like it's just like in their speech patterns and whole worldview.
And was polluted. And it is no secret that in the
Is polluted one of those dog whistles?
90s, people didn't come to Southeast. All of the little shops and the little stores that depended on the foot traffic that went in and out of the Navy Yard were gone. And as they were gone, you had derelict places grow up. It was an open drug market, and it was a disaster.
As a young teenage
It was a disaster.
punk rocker in the straight edge scene in the 80s, I would come down here sometimes for the clubs like Tracks. I just remember you had to pay people to guard your car, and this was one of the more dangerous neighborhoods at that time.
There was nothing here. We didn't have a grocery store close by, and we didn't have this nice recreation center, and people were excited. It was a brand new neighborhood.
It is Navy Yard. They've tried a couple different names, you know, Capitol Quarter and other names to try to sort of brand the neighborhood, but we refer to it as Navy Yard. When I first moved here with my family, people were like, I can't believe you're down there. Is it safe? And it's very, very safe. Now it's one of the most densely populated areas in the city.
We are at the front of the Capitol Quarter complex. This place was not vacant. There had been public housing here, and the residents from that were displaced, not voluntarily, they were forcibly displaced to make way for the development under Hope 6.
Okay, bitch, did you want to talk that shit? Sell your house and go live in the fucking woods, bitch. You know what I mean? They were voluntarily.
Yeah, they are awful.
If you're not gonna fucking sell your fucking condo and go fucking live in the fucking woods and eat berries and shit, shut the fuck up about it, bitch. Because you're not moving. You fucking whore.
There had been public housing here, and the residents from that were displaced, not voluntarily, they were forcibly displaced to make way for the development under Hope 6.
This area has the name Arthur Capers. Some say Cappers, some say Capers.
Capers. It should be Cappers, but of course black people call it Capers. Very, very. This is where the PCP boat. This is where the boat was, man. There's a boat spot. This is a fucking very rough neighborhood, man. Very, very, very rough neighborhood.
But it was a project, and it was part of the redevelopment. It was leveled, and the whole area is called Hope 6. The main point of Hope 6 was to integrate low housing, medium housing, and to integrate the community together. The
integrate
sounds horrible.
Has been very successful. I have to say that. But a lot of the people couldn't come back because of other issues. But it was set up that
they were in prison.
A lot of the people couldn't come back because of other issues. These people are awful, man.
New guy, your mic is messed up. Whatever's going on.
You got like a TV on in the background.
How about now?
That's better.
Yeah, you better.
That's better? Okay.
Everybody who had qualified could come back.
This is a mix of market rate housing, workforce housing, and affordable rental housing. And as you can see, the homes are all integrated together, so you can't really tell which is which unless you know what to look for. One of the main differences with the
people on the front porch,
is they're
maybe
narrower. My house is just 13 feet wide, and it feels less than that because of the stairs. I call it the Stairmaster house. These are designed to look like historic Capitol Hill homes, not the fancy Victorians so much, but the more traditional Capitol Hill row houses. There's also the senior building where some of the original residents, as well as other seniors, moved in after that was completed. Unfortunately, that burned down several years ago in a 4-alarm fire.
I was one of the ones that was displaced because of the fire. The senior center, that was my love. We had musicians, we had retired teachers, we had folks that loved art and like dancing. My relationship with the Arthur Capers Community Center is I am a sewing instructor, I am a jewelry maker, and I just love kids. So I mentor with the young people in the after-school program.
The community center has been a great benefit to the community. We go over there for the gym, basketball, pickup games. The kids enjoy it. Aftercare for school.
What's this place like at night?
It's really been, a great benefit.
Yeah, so it's a great. I mean, it's come up. It's come up, and you could just see how great the neighborhood has become over the last since they got rid of the niggas.
I'm here at Yards Park, and this is
Think
your
most
guide.
people there have
what
jobs?
you can see, do, and eat here when you visit Washington, D.C. Before we get into the specifics, hello, my name is Rob. I'm a tour guide and founder of Trip Hacks DC Tours. On this channel, I share my best tips, tricks, and hacks for visitors who want to explore Washington, D.C. This is the 4th video in my Washington, D.C. Neighborhood Guides for Visitors series.
How has this guy not been murdered?
If you dig this genre, make sure to give the video a thumbs up so I know that you want more. And check out my other neighborhood guide videos, which I've organized into a playlist that I will link to in the description. Just so you know, this area goes by quite a few different names. You might hear it called Capitol Riverfront or The Yards. Most locals, I think, refer to this neighborhood as Navy Yard. So that's what I'm going to call it for the remainder of the video. Unlike other areas in DC, Washington, DC, Capitol bike share stations, Scatter Hotel, and AC by Marriott. I think that any of these are perfectly fine for a United outside of the. I think Audi Field is a really great experience. So if there's a United or Spirit game happening during your trip dates, concerts, and other big special events. For example, during this year's
terrible, man. It's terrible video. But anyway, it's a lot of upscale apartment buildings down there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of upscale. AOC lives down there. AOC lives there. Who else? That one congresswoman from Minnesota that got raped, but that got assaulted. You remember her? The Minnesota congresswoman that got assaulted in her building. It was down here.
I will say this much, because even that lady was saying how they designed the very buildings was meant to kind of make everything look the same. And I suppose if you can trick white people into living near blacks, as long as the blacks are a really, really small percent, I don't know, maybe that's their way of dispersing the chaos.
Yeah, but these teens are not from this neighborhood. The blacks that live here don't have teenage kids. The blacks that live here may have small kids, and they're not from DC. They're not DC. They're not like DC natives. The blacks here come to DC for the jobs, just like the white people do. They're that class of people, and they have small children. And the small children don't act like that. And they won't act like that when they get older, probably. But here's the thing. Right across the way, maybe 5 minutes away, is a myriad of housing projects. A 5 minute walk away from the Navy Yard. It may be a 3 minute walk from the Navy Yard, depending on what part of the Navy Yard you're in. It's across the street from the Navy Yard because it borders the neighborhood. So you have a myriad of housing projects. So let's see DC. Let's see what's been happening because people are pretty upset. Hold on.
A San Francisco Superior.
Yeah, people are pretty upset. about what's going on in DC in the Navy Yard.
A curfew?
Yeah, hold
on. By the way, like, why is DC set up that way? I don't understand why the United States would want like its government officials like cohabiting with monkeys. Like, is that always just been that way, or like what's the? I don't get it.
Well, here's
a
the
lot
thing.
of civil servants.
DC is a chocolate city. It became a chocolate city, and it's just DC is a chocolate city. They've never had a white man. They've it's a chocolate city, and the government happens to be there. It's just like LA. Like, why would Hollywood people want like the most gang infested area in the world to be like in their backyard? You know what I mean? Like, it just is.
But hold on though. LA though would have been a white state at one point before, you know, Mexican immigrants. So like, I'm not American, but I'm assuming at one point DC was just a white place, and then the chocolate people moved in. But I don't understand why like government officials would allow that to happen.
There's a lot of them that are civil servant workers, and you know, I heard of some statistic. I don't remember the raw numbers, but it's something like 50 or 80% of Black females work in one way or another through federal funded programs, government. You know, whether
That's a
it's
good point.
or, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of, those jobs are like made for them practically, right? To like guarantee them employment.
It's a really high number. The federal government.
Yeah, no. A bunch of people in my family work with the federal government, and it's just like an industry. That's our industry. Whereas, like, you know, some places coal mining towns, or some places, you know, they got different industries. Our industry is the federal government.
And you're not wrong, new guy. A lot of it was set up to provide employment. I mean, that's what Democrats have been doing for 60 years. Like, we'll just create another program and fill out the ranks with people that will vote for us when we give them jobs.
Let me play these videos. Move on. Can we get some sponsors for the show tonight? We got a few sponsors, but we get some more sponsors for the show tonight. If you're enjoying the program, hit the PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat. We got people watching on multiple platforms. Salute to everybody, and everybody right now, every single person. If you are watching right now, hit the like button right now at this very second. We're the only people still talking about black fatigue. Show the channel some support. Everyone else has abandoned it. Everyone else is on to whatever the fuck else they're on to, you know. And you won't hear them talk no more about black fatigue. They're off it. It's done.
Parks, the recreation facilities that we have available.
The community, businesses, and the chief of police are frustrated, disturbed, and sick and tired of this.
Like, I just want to show you this apartment building. What do you think the rent is in here for a 1-bedroom? Guess what you think? Tell me what you think it would cost for a 730 square feet, 1 bedroom, 1 bath.
They're kind of expensive, aren't they?
Anybody?
Is that subsidized housing, or is that open market housing?
No, this is open market.
3,300.
Hold on, I can't hear both of y'all at the same time. What'd you say?
$3,000 a month.
Yeah, about $3,000. Yeah.
Jesus.
Of this. Hundreds of teens swarming Navy Yard.
We want our young people to enjoy the activities. We want them to go to the parks, the recreation facilities that we have available. We want them to experience our nightlife activities in a positive.
Guess who this is?
Shouldn't she be letting the Palisades burn? Oh no, it's a different one. This is the chief of police, right? Or
yeah, it's the police chief.
That's the problem right there. What are you doing with that, Jimmy?
It don't matter who's the police chief here, though. But yeah, this is just insane. The number of them that are police chiefs is alarming.
Positive way, but we are not going to tolerate what we've been seeing.
7 News exclusively spoke to Chief Pamela Smith after Saturday's takeover. Police say 2 people were robbed. One had to go to a nearby hospital. Witnesses say security at nearby apartments were breached. And take a look at this. This video shows teens allegedly breaking into cars.
We are coming up with how we're going to address that, and we will be addressing that immediately.
For the first time publicly, Chief Smith calling out one part of the line of accountability.
Parents need to know where their children
are. Those are all women. Those are all women.
This is why I tell you, like, they've been the average black chick that we see in these videos that are going viral. And you see the white girl like walking away or something, or the white girl like just sitting there taking a bunch of shit. The energy you exude when you've been in 100 fights.
Yeah, for sure.
You can feel that. Other people can feel that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just, your energy, you're just like, you're ready to go. You've been in 100 fights. They do this all the fucking time. With no cameras are around, when cameras are around, doesn't matter.
Addressing that immediately.
For the first time publicly, Chief Smith calling out one part of the line of accountability.
Parents need to know where their children are. You need to take responsibility for your kids and understand what the accountability piece means when we keep our kids in our care.
What is most concerning to you right now about what we're seeing these large groups?
I think what's most concerning is the violent behavior.
Chi Williams documented the violence near her apartment Saturday. A teen stomped unconscious, a CVS robbery. Utter chaos. She's been.
So these girls stomped someone unconscious, another girl unconscious.
So hold on, Ak, tell me this. You're telling me that these people are living across the street or a block or two from like fucking Chuck Schumer?
Yeah, whichever congressman lived down here. Whichever
like you understand how I find that kind of difficult to believe. Like why? Like Chuck Schumer doesn't want to be within 1,000 miles of any sun, so it just kind of seems.
Well, he might not live down here. He's a veteran. This is more the trendy young, maybe like the squad type ones that live down here. Like I'll show you. I'll show you. Hold on.
Utter chaos. She's been pushing residents to show up to tonight's community meeting with MPD commissioners and Councilman Charles Allen.
What do you plan to say to your leadership?
I plan to inform them that we are ready to step up.
We have a job to enforce the laws of this city. There is no law against loitering. There is no law against congregating in different areas. The piece that I have to focus on is the violent behavior.
Reporting from Navy Yard, Felicia Ashley, 7 News.
The weave wars. They wouldn't need curfews. They wouldn't need any of that shit.
Breaking tonight on WUSA 9 News at 11, chaos in Navy Yard. Yet another teen takeover just weeks after calls for increased public safety from residents. Take a look. This is video showing some of the mayhem just moments ago. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Simone D'Alba. Our Alexis Wainwright is on the scene near New Jersey Avenue in Southeast. Alexis, what have you seen since you've been there?
Well, Simone, I can tell you that I don't think we've seen kids act like this before. It's been very chaotic out here. I'm going to actually move out of the way so you can see what we're seeing right here in Navy Yard. This is by the park along New Jersey Avenue in Southeast. You can see flashing lights, a police presence still here at the Navy Yard train station. Within the last 12 minutes, 15 minutes, I've seen kids who were fighting again right outside that train station. But if you take a look further over here to the left, you may see a silhouette of some of the kids that are still out here hanging out at this hour. Now we can tell you, we want to show you actually some video that we just received and we just took earlier. And we want to warn you that some of it may be hard to watch. This is shortly after we arrived here, just before 9 p.m. At one point, you can see several kids gathering, and then several of them attacked two people who were here nearby, punching them. They also fell to the ground, and then you could see them kicking and stomping on two of those people. Now, a source tells me they were first notified about chaos around 8 p.m., we spoke with several people in this area who say they saw hundreds of teens initially being unruly. Now, MPD says they responded to a call about a large group being disorderly. Many of the police officers were here when we arrived trying to disperse that crowd, but having trouble. We would see the teens walk away, circle around the block, and then come back to this area. So again, a lot of chaos. We've been seeing a lot of fights. We saw at least 3 teenagers that were put into handcuffs. So a very chaotic situation out here. Now, we're also aware of DC police responding and investigating 2 shootings that happened in Southwest. That also something that is happening here tonight. So a lot of people on alert and really concerned about what's going on in this area here in Navy Yard because of what happened there. Now, with those shootings, we know that 1 teenage girl was shot and she was injured. Meanwhile, we also know that a male was shot and killed in that other shooting that happened. So again, a lot happening out here. We can tell you that people are concerned. This isn't the first time we've seen teenagers out here acting unruly, some of them fighting and later being arrested. Now, again, MPD has not released information about any charges or any arrests, but we have seen at least 3 of them out here in handcuffs after 3 more fights broke out within the last 20 minutes or so. So again, a lot happening. We can tell you the police are still out here trying to monitor the situation, but a lot of...
So they're fighting each other. They're fighting random white people that happen to walk by. They're fighting like the cops. It's a lot going on out there, man. A lot going on. But yeah, I wanted to show you this. You said that you didn't know about the lady that got the congresswoman down here who got attacked, man. That was like a year ago, man.
But by a son, she got raped.
Oh yeah, she got.
Oh, okay.
Her DC apartment building. But first at 10, a congresswoman assaulted inside of her DC apartment building. Tonight, police say her attacker is behind bars.
It happened around 7 o'clock this morning. You got to hear some of these details, though. Josh Rosenthal's on the story tonight. He is live in North, what we know so far, and the development came down just a few hours ago. Yeah.
No restorative justice for this guy?
Minnesota Congresswoman Angie Craig fought off her attacker with a hot cup of coffee. More on that in a minute. But first, I want you to hear from a woman who we talked to tonight. She lives nearby.
I think it's tragic. I think it's pretty sad that we can't just go about our days without being harassed or attacked. I don't know.
Is she a bug collector? What's with the glasses?
Whatever it was, she definitely didn't deserve that.
Tonight, investigators say 26-year-old Kendrick Hamlin is charged
that
with simple assault.
prognatism is
Earlier,
crazy.
they released photos of the suspect. According to the police report, Craig first saw the man in the lobby of her Northeast apartment building. She told
This
police
is actually Northeast. This is kind of like
Look at her wall.
from Navy Yard, but a lot of congressmen live in this. Congressmen live here too, but most of them live in the Navy Yard.
That's the missing link right there, though. That's a full-on fucking gorilla.
Yeah, I mean, but these are the. He's like him. He's the type of person that would be like begging for change, or you know what I'm saying, or just talking to himself or something. Like he wouldn't be a problem to me or another, like, you know, regular
Another
black
son.
man.
Yeah.
Like he would be like somebody who like would ask us for some change, or he'd just be talking to himself, or he might spaz out on somebody in our presence, but he wouldn't do that to us.
Yeah, that's why like it confuses me. Like, why would the legislatures of the country allow these people to be anywhere near them when they could just fucking legislate them away? Clearly, right? If they're all in in low income.
She's totally woke, though. She's totally woke. Look at who's on her wall: a rainbow portrait of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I think that's
but like, come on.
I
They're
wish
woke, but
that
they're like NIMBY woke. They're not like they're NIMBY woke. You know what I mean?
I wish she would have pulled it off.
Not often she walks the streets either, too. You know, like wherever she was headed, it's probably she's usually shuttled in her limo or her car service wherever she goes. She's not down in the streets a lot, I would imagine.
And she's in Minnesota a lot too. Like this is like her apartment for, you know, when she's in DC.
Attack,
you know what I mean?
Okay, so basically they're just like,
Tonight,
the
investigators say
percentage is so
26-year-old
low,
Kendrick
it's okay.
Hamlin is charged with simple assault. Earlier, they'd released photos of the suspect. According to the police report, Craig first saw the man in the lobby of her northeast apartment building. She told police he was acting erratic, as if he was under the influence. Craig got onto the elevator. The man did too. And then he began to randomly do push-ups, the report says, before ultimately punching Craig in the chin and later grabbing her neck. Craig defended herself by throwing that hot coffee at her attacker, who then got away before police arrived. Craig's office releasing a statement saying the Congresswoman suffered bruising but is otherwise okay. The statement also says there is no evidence that the incident was politically motivated. There's more reactions. Neighbors were shaken up.
There's no evidence that it was politically motivated. This was back when they were trying to frame the right as being like politically violent.
Yeah,
and like everything that happened to a politician was like, could it be the MAGA and shit?
I got to be honest. I love it when this shit happens to these people, man.
Do you live nearby?
Yes, down the street.
Like this guy, right? Like he lives there. So like that. Just think about it. He lives there, and this guy probably lives in a shelter or a group home somewhere down there too. You know what I'm saying?
Predator.
Do you live nearby?
Yes, down the street.
Does it concern you hearing that this happened to a congresswoman?
Tremendously.
Are you concerned?
I mean, I got son. At the end of the day, I'm worried about him. His
What?
safety.
Now I got to make it a pizza.
Embarrassing, man.
I was just painting and sculpting.
Yeah,
These four people live in the same neighborhood. Him, the congresswoman, this fucking Poindexter, and her. They all live in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, they all play their own unique part to the ecosystem.
It's diversity. It's our strength.
And that's why it functions that way.
We're shaken up. Do you live nearby?
Yes, down the street.
Does it concern you hearing that this happened to a congresswoman?
Tremendously.
Are you concerned?
I mean, I got son. At the end of the day, I'm worried about him, his safety, and then my safety as well because I got to take care of my son.
Tonight, I reached out to Craig's office after the arrest to see if they had any additional comment, but they said for now, they've got nothing to add. Guys.
And Josh, we learned after the Alexandria congressional baseball shooting that, if you're
the Alexandria, trying to compare that to the Alexandria congressional baseball shooting. But yeah, this is listen. Hold on, let's see this.
We have some breaking news out of Northeast DC at this hour. We are following the latest as it relates to a shooting at a DC elementary school track meet in Northeast. All of this happening at the old.
Move over, Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony, hold my beer.
At least this guy brought the gun to the knife fight.
We have some breaking news out of Northeast DC at this hour. We are following the latest as it relates to a shooting at a DC elementary school track meet in Northeast. All of this happening at the old Spring Garden High School. Fox 5's Katie Barlow is arriving on the scene right now. She just got there. Katie, what are you learning at this hour?
Hey, Marina. So we're on the same block as Spring Iron High School on the 2500 block of Benning Road Northeast. And while we think it was near the elementary school track meet, not at the elementary school track meet, it appears there was a citywide elementary school track meet happening just across the street from where the shooting happening. We understand there's one victim who is not conscious and not breathing. I was just standing up there before the police moved us back toward Benning Road. And there were children who were being picked up by their parents. There were parents who were getting kind of turned off to a parking lot to the side and then sent out onto a field where perhaps the track meet was taking place. But the field was covered with elementary school children. Parents were there to pick them up. Parents were clearly rattled. Obviously, a scary thing to get a phone call that happened anywhere near your child. I saw two children get put on gurneys. They looked to be elementary school aged. Of course, we don't have those details. One of them had something wrapped around his leg. Now, they may have had a strong panic-like reaction to what happened. We don't know, but I did see 2 young boys put on gurneys that were then being processed by DC police. One of them was very shaky. He was drinking water, and his.
Aren't you a reporter? Shouldn't you have asked like what was happening there? Like, did she like? Don't know.
His hand was shaking. He seemed to be in a pretty tough spot. Obviously, a very scary incident. If you're here for a track meet, it wouldn't even occur to you that this would happen. So police have set us up now here. We're on the corner of Benning Road and 26th Street in Northeast. But this happened just up the block a little bit on the 800 block of 26th Street. Again, one individual not conscious, not breathing, as far as we understand. And the 5th District officers responded to reports of a shooting at about 1:56 this afternoon. So just about an hour ago, things are still coming together. We're expecting DC police to do a press conference and give us a little bit more information here, but they still have to clear the scene. I just saw the chief of police, Pamela Smith, walking up. She just got here, so they probably need to get their bearings, and then we'll have more information for you coming up.
Track meets are dangerous.
And we're seeing some of the video that you guys were able to send us back here, Katie, and the presence there of ATF as well. Interesting to see. I know you'll be talking to some parents there, hopefully witnesses that can give us a little bit more context as to what happened, how this all played out there as this meet. And as you can see, these kids being released at this hour.
So that's something else that happened today. That's not the teen takeover. Okay, so here we go. Here's an update on the situation.
Right now on WUSA 9 News at 6, we are staying on top of that breaking news we have been following in Northeast DC. A man is dead after a shooting near an elementary school track meet. Thank you for being here with me at 6 o'clock. I'm Lorenzo Hall. So this all unfolded about 4 hours ago near Spingarn High School, the former Spingarn High School, and Charles Young Elementary. Police say they later found the suspect's car on fire about 3 miles away in the Fort Lincoln area. Our Matt Gregory is live near the scene where this all happened. And Matt, this has been such a scary afternoon for students and their parents. Tell us what you're learning at 6 o'clock.
Oh, Lorenzo, that just kind of scratches the surface of the deep feelings these folks have. The children, the students who were here for the track meet, the parents rushing to watch their kids run a track meet, instead rushing to find their kids after they find out someone has been shot on the sidewalk right next to the track and field meet for elementary school students. Here's what the scene looks like at this point, right? It's kind of winding down, but further down, you can still see the forensics vans off to the left side of this is 26th Street. They're really right in front of Charles Young Elementary. And then to the right of that, as you get heading in the other direction of 26th Street, just across the street, on that sidewalk, that's where police say around 2 o'clock, 3 men came up. One of them shot a man right there on the sidewalk next to the track meet where elementary school students were getting ready to run a track meet. Now, right afterwards, we were finding parents rushing to the scene, trying to talk to their kids, hugging, crying, everyone trying to reunite with their parents and with their students at the same time. It was a little bit of organized chaos as the police set up reunification standpoints. You can also see the track as that video comes up that is now empty. It looks like as soon as the shots rang out, from everyone we talked to, people just started running for cover. There were some folks who hid behind walls, some who hid behind trees, some of the kids, as they all tried to figure out if everyone was safe. Luckily, no students hurt, no students damaged, but there is one man shot dead right on the sidewalk next to the track meet, like I said, around 2 o'clock. And police, while going through their investigation, found that the car that was used as a getaway car was burning 3 miles away in Fort Lincoln. And that's where our photographers were able to grab that end of the scene. Now, police continue to go through.
They professionals. They set the fucking getaway car on fire. That's crazy.
Miles away in Fort Lincoln, and that's where our photographers were able to grab that end of the scene. Now, police continue to go through the investigation, trying to track down forensic information like video as well as ballistics. But at this point, parents are trying to track down some sanity for their children after this afternoon's horrific event.
Then they let me in, and my kid was in shock. Actually, he was crying. I don't know. I'm going home to my husband, and I just called him, and we're going to decide what to do. But we are talking about it. I told him we actually have to discuss it.
I heard the gunshot, and I thought it was a flare, but I heard it go off multiple times. We ran behind a tree, and then we hid behind the tree, and then everyone was crying, and then people were having panic attacks.
Everyone was crying. People.
Wow, multiculturalism, man. The joys of multiculturalism, man.
No description of the assailants. No
need to. You don't have to. You don't have to. In DC, everybody knows. Now, if this was a national story, you might need to tell. But everybody in DC, trust me, every single person.
I know there's no need to tell, but they don't bother, you know.
Yeah, I mean, for what? Like, it's a black guy. Duh.
It's one of those teen Americans, or you know.
Yeah. Very.
We have some breaking news out of Northeast DC.
Very, very violent area. So let's go back to the takeovers, man. the older kid, you know, what's going on at night in DC.
Man. I'm about to go over there too.
On 7 details on Metro Police's.
Where you staying in DC?
I usually try to stay at the Hilton because I got awards.
Where?
Towards the Hilton, like towards around there.
Okay.
On 7 details on Metro Police's plan to address the violent teen takeovers in Navy Yard. They've happened twice in just 3 weeks. DC reporter Felicia Ashley joins us live from Navy Yard, where community members are scared and frustrated. Felicia, you've been following this story. What is MPD telling you?
Right. Well, what I learned yesterday is that top leaders in D.C., they were meeting. What I learned today are MPD's plans, and they say they'll be making some major announcements this week on changes we will all see in upcoming days. We've spent the last 2 days asking D.C. leaders how they plan to handle the violent teen takeovers at Navy Yard. After no email replies from D.C.'s Public Safety Councilwoman Brooke Pinto, we stopped by her office. No response.
You know, whites don't hate them for
by
their
Navy
skin
Yard
color.
Councilman Charles Allen.
They hate them for their age.
Right.
These teens.
And this Congress, this Brooke Pinto, she was the one that was spearheaded all the rollbacks of the criminal justice system in 2020. It was like she was the one that galvanized all the city council to.
She was riding that wave.
She was the leader of it. And then last year, she was the leader of the new crime bill they did to kind of like try to fix some of that stuff. And she was the leader of that. And she was all on her high horse, acting like she was some kind of savior for the city. This woman is awful. When you say women are awful, this woman is awful.
Yeah.
Replies from D.C.'s Public Safety Councilwoman Brooke Pinto. We stopped by her office. No response. We stopped by Navy Yard Councilman Charles Allen. His team claimed he wasn't available. The mayor's office wouldn't provide a statement after the second takeover in 3 weeks. We went to an MPD public event and exclusively spoke with D.C. Police Chief Pamela Smith and asked what is being done. She addressed this moment.
What we saw at the Chipotle was totally unacceptable, and we're not going to tolerate that in our city ever again.
Chief Smith says she was at Navy Yard Saturday night. That night, massive fights broke out. Teens breached security at nearby apartment buildings.
I don't know how you could say something like that. Like, we're never going to tolerate something like that ever again. And literally, someone just walked up and shot a man at like a fucking elementary school track meet. And then set the car on fire, drove away and set the car on fire. How do you stop somebody from chimping out at Chipotle if you can't? Like, I just don't understand how she thinks that.
Here's how you don't let them inside.
This video shows teens allegedly trying to break into cars. MPD said the group also robbed 2 people, sending one to the hospital.
I think it's unacceptable for a parent to assume that they know everything that their children are doing. And if you don't, watch the video. I'm sure some of those children belong to someone, and we need that behavior to stop. And we're going to send a strong message this week regarding that.
And regarding that message, Chief Smith said that she will be having a press conference later this week to lay out some of the details that we will all physically see when it comes to changes, especially as we inch towards Memorial Weekend. Now, coincidentally, while my photographer and I were standing out here moments before we were bringing you this report, a group of kids came up to us and they were excited to share that they were out here Saturday night. They claimed they didn't do anything, quote, bad, but they say this is their spot. This is where they gather. If you remember the video, this is exactly where a lot of the teens tend to hang out and where those fights break out. So of course,
Come on,
continue to
cut
bring
them
you the
some
latest
slack.
details. When I did ask.
They've been studying all week, working hard. Finals are coming up. You know, you got to let them blow off a little steam.
Yeah, that's true, man.
These scholars.
Yeah, no doubt. Because yeah, just blowing off a little steam, and then it's off to college. Yeah. So yeah, that's
Parents
pretty rough over there.
So you think black fatigue is dropping out? You think we've moved on from that talking?
Oh yeah. It was only I already told you guys last week. Yo, it's such an uncomfortable thing to talk about. People don't like talking about it because here's the thing. There were already channels that would cover crime and shit like that, but everyone was talking about black fatigue. I'm talking about layman's, the average Joe Blow, Missy Moo. You know, everybody was talking about.
I think it might be too early to tell, man. We got summer coming up, and there might be an even more astute word for it or phrase for it.
I think they shot their load, man. I really do.
Maybe
in order for something like that to even become mainstream, it has to overcome so many obstacles. You know what I mean? Because there's so many things to prevent a term like black fatigue from becoming mainstream. So it got mainstream. I think they shot their load, man. I think it's done for. I think all the same shit is going to keep happening, and people will just kind of like.
I think what ruined it was when black commentators appropriated it and started claiming it for themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Exactly. Because
see, that appropriation shifted it from DNA to culture.
Exactly. Exactly. It gave cover.
And the whole point of black fatigue is that it is DNA. So that can't be disentangled from it. That's the whole crux of the argument.
Exactly. And also, those people that are complaining about it, they never co-sign the actual measures that need to be taken to rectify it.
Correct.
So everyone who's saying, I got black fatigue too, and I'm black, put a bill on the table with something really that can stop blacks from chimping out or acting like that. And they're like, oh, that's a bridge too far, man. My cousin, man, my uncle.
Yeah, I don't want to go to Liberia. All that shit.
Right. Yeah. So we've entered the era of black fatigue.
Yeah, and black fatigue. Exactly.
I've seen a couple of black content creators who are calling out the blacks who say they have fatigue.
Call them coons and stuff like that.
Stuff like that. You know, it's still that sort of we was Kangs that, you know, it's all their fault. You know, we're never going to give up. We're never going to toe the line or, you know, heel like they want us to do kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's their fault we act like this. Yeah. Man, give me another city, man. Make sure y'all support the channel. Take the $5 challenge, man. See if we can get some people to take the $5 challenge on this good Wednesday morning, man.
This is a black fundraiser.
By the way, what happened to the prison break? Did they get them all back?
No, they got 5. I think they got 4 or 5 of them.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna make a great movie.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
All the criminals will be white.
Shout out to Jimmy Fields. Shout out to Show Sagino. He said Gun Hill Road represent the Bronx in the building. So we do the Bronx, man. The Bronx. Let's see. Let's see what's happening up here in New York.
Tonight, we're learning about a frightening scene at a subway station in Lower Manhattan. Last night, 2 men were shoved into the tracks. One of the victims in his 70s, and the man accused of doing it is now under arrest. But the victims are scared. One of them talking exclusively with Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo.
The platform was full of people, tired and just wanting to get home after a long day's work.
Now, listen, I hate to say this, but look at this woman, right? She's got both ears. You know what I'm saying? You can see the string, right? Both.
Yeah, that's
ears
a mark for a son, man.
Like,
yeah.
Here's the thing, though. She when something happens, she'll act as if like, oh my God, like you voted the way she voted and the way she's, the things that you could just look at her till she's liberal white woman. You don't get to have both earbuds in on the train. You forfeited that. Part of your politic is that you forfeit being able to have both earbuds in. You know?
Yeah, but she doesn't see it that way. She just thinks like police hunters have like a bloodlust and they're just like hunting down random Negroes everywhere.
And just wanting.
Yeah, but here's the thing: she doesn't really believe that because she's on the train. She just it's part of I'm a good person publicly. You know what I mean? It's part of hey everybody, I'm a good person.
Well, women in particular are very good at like compartmentalizing.
You have to.
If she rides this train, she knows what's up.
I would bet she's probably not from New York. She's probably someone who's went to school there, is going to school there, got a job there. She's come from someplace and she's in the big city and she wants to fit in. And there's a vibe that goes with like accepting all the crap around you as part of this new adventure.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
remember when Seth Rogen or Seth, is that his name? The comedy actor said that about Los Angeles. Like, your car window's going to get smashed in and they're going to get your radio. It's Los Angeles. This is what life is. Like we're just supposed to accept this level of, crime, and so she's just tuning it out and hoping it doesn't happen to her.
Right.
Do you two go to New York City often?
I go to New York quite a bit. Yeah.
So I've been there a few times, and like those steel columns, my back is literally like glued to them. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
I would like post up on the fucking column and look for black people and make sure they were not near me.
Yeah, you kind of gotta be aware, like just a heightened level of awareness. You know what I mean? Because don't get me wrong, everybody's not going to get pushed on the subway track. You know that, but if you're slipping, somebody who is on that train, they're looking for someone who's slipping. So it's like if you're slipping, the other people that are slipping, a percentage of them get assaulted or get victimized.
Yeah,
more than the people who are on guard.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm looking for someone who's like standing close to the edge, like doofus on.
Yeah, this girl.
I'm not looking for somebody who has their back against the. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for you.
Yeah, and that's why these women, I think we see these instances where like these blacks and Hispanics are beating and killing these white women, or maybe Asian women on the
or maybe lighting them on fire
more often because they're just a good target.
Yeah, because they're just this is just predatory behavior. They're looking for somebody. it's not even like, for instance, if all these people were little son teens, like say there was a teen takeover somewhere and all the kids flooded onto the fucking train, all those fucking vagrants and like cellar dwellers that do shit like push people on the train and aggressively panhandle and shit like that, they would leave. They don't want to be around those fucking 17s.
No, of course not. Like when was the last time we saw like a 250-pound sun man become victim to this stuff? Never.
Yeah, they're gone. They those sun teens are. They as soon as those sun teens come down, the whole underground element of fucking New York of train crime vagrancy is there. Like, oh shit, we got to get out of here, man. They act like the white people. They're like, shit, something need to be done about this.
To get home after a long day's work, Boubacar Balde almost didn't make it.
When I arrived, he just tried to hit me. I was not expecting he gonna hit me like that.
Punched in the shoulder
with a big force like that.
So hard he was thrown down onto the tracks.
I never see that guy.
It was a random slugging, a man unleashing fury underground for no apparent reason.
You have to keep him and ask him why. The motive.
Balde was the second to get knocked onto the tracks inside the Whitehall Street station at around 10:30 Monday night. The first, a 71-year-old man who broke his elbow. As Balde came to and hoisted himself up, the unrelenting attacker was waiting.
When I go up, he followed me.
The suspected attacker, 35-year-old Terrell Coley, was arrested a short time after the attacks and charged with second and third degree assault and reckless endangerment. He's off the streets for now, but he's left a mark on his victim's mind.
Someone can come to you and hit you like that. Yes, I will say it's making me just a little bit afraid.
But you think this is a dangerous person?
This is a dangerous person for me. It's a dangerous person for me.
Thankfully, neither victim was hit by the subway while on the tracks. Transit crime is down citywide this year by 4.9%. But in the first precinct where these assaults happened, it's up nearly 50%.
It's kind of scary.
So it's down 4.9%, which ain't shit. But where this happened is up 46%. Let's see.
It's also tiresome.
Yeah, it is, man. It is.
And so we're not seeing a picture of that, so we know the
Terrell
was a sun man.
Terrell, you ever met a white guy named Terrell?
Oh right, yeah, of course. Okay, yeah, no, he's definitely a sun man. But it's like DC, like it's kind of par for the course too. Like all those fucking women that were bitching about getting like slugged in the head over the past year, like every single time was a black man.
Yeah.
You tell a black man you don't want to get a cup of coffee with him, and you're getting fucking slugged.
If I punch a white woman, there's all kinds of programs to take care of me, but he can do it. It's privilege.
Yeah. Yeah, slugging a woman in public, like slugging a woman you don't know in public. I'm sure there's been white guys that have punched like their significant other during an argument in public, but slugging a random woman in public is like a black thing or a San Brito thing.
It's almost a white lady punching season in New York. You know, a couple more degrees on the thermometer, and the season starts. Going to New York, get a bagel, punch a white lady. It's wonderful. Only in America. Only in New York.
See, in New York, don't they have like a a very, very good commuter system. So like, you know, the Juice Crew and the Whites can like live out in the suburbs and they commute by train to Manhattan every day, so they don't have to deal with the Suns like in their actual own neighborhoods, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, they do have that, but at the same time, a lot of them live down like Manhattan, Soho, Tribeca, the Lower East Side, Alphabet City, all these nice neighborhoods in Manhattan, man. The upper part of Manhattan is more like the blacks, Harlem, Spanish Harlem, and shit like that, Washington Heights. But the midtown to lower Manhattan, a lot of really nice white neighborhoods, man, in the city, Manhattan, downtown Manhattan.
Well, we're learning new details about the violence in downtown Orlando after an uptick in incidents over the past few years. The map behind me shows where violent crimes have happened since 2021. These are the heat maps. And you can see the hotspot right there on Orange Avenue between Washington Street and Pine Street. Fox 35's Caroline Coles heard from the police chief about what they're doing to target these key areas.
Should Orlando bars...
The police chief, if this police chief is a fucking woman, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
serve alcohol after midnight? That is the big question that's causing a whole lot of debate here at City Hall. Business leaders are divided, and so are city leaders as well.
Could be Hispanic
It's
police chief.
one of the city's most vibrant districts, but also one of its most violent. From May 2024 to May 2025, Orlando police responded to more than 1,500 arrests, 177 illegal gun seizures, and nearly 6,000 suspicious person stops downtown. The concentration of violence appears to center around popular late-night areas, mostly after midnight.
We have tried everything to curb violence. This time, we really don't see any other viable options.
Many of the violence over the last 4 years has happened in this highlighted block of North Orange Avenue between Washington Street and Central Boulevard. Like the mass shooting in July of 2022, an attempted murder of a police officer in September of 2021, a mass shooting last year on Halloween, and an innocent person shot and killed while standing on the sidewalk back in May of 2021. Orlando Police Chief Eric Smith says the cost of having extra officers downtown on the weekends would top $6 million a year, and some nights require more officers downtown.
Now that $6 million comes from the tax base of which the black population doesn't contribute to. So this is $6 million from white people or non-black people.
That's the chief right there?
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's the chief.
Yeah, okay.
I could forgive them for the $6 million if they could at least like acknowledge the problem. But this chief and every other fucking person on the force knows the problem, but they're not allowed to say it.
Cop? If you're a cop, if you're a cop, you fucking you're ground zero. Like you know more than anybody. Or paramedics, the people like that, first responders know. They know. It's niggas.
Yeah, it's also just like the newscaster is so fucking disingenuous. There's like a heat map little like diagram they have. And it's like, maybe because there's like a subspecies population at that heat map. Maybe that's the reason. But like, you know, we all know, but we can't say it.
Yeah, and it's every city too. Every city struggling with this problem. Like no city, we don't do very many videos with people when cities come on. Hey man, we got it under control. Everything we did this, and this, and everything's like every city's struggling with this. They're all struggling. Like there's no success story. Like when they brag on the crime on the train system is down 4.9%, but here at this particular stop it's up 50%. It's like come on, man. It's just a plague. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a fucking gorilla miasma. Like it just kind of there's no solutions. But like fuck man, at least if we could like be honest about it, that would be at least one step in the right direction.
We were, but then, like I said, people got fatigued with the fatigue.
Yeah.
Fatigued
He,
with
like,
black fatigue.
I
even
don't know, man.
this
I feel
sun
like you're giving
man,
up on the Suns. I don't think you're giving them enough credit. I think there's a lot more fatigue that they can create this summer.
even this sun man though, this police chief, even if he were to acknowledge the problem, I don't even think his black privilege would save him from, being fired.
Yeah, no, the backlash in the community. The blacks would be mad and the white liberals would be mad. And yeah, that would be maybe not get him out of there, but he probably wouldn't get reelected. Or he probably wouldn't come back.
It seems like the only time the Suns form a community is when they want to get something from gliders. Suddenly now we have to answer to the community for every little transgression.
Any other time they're like stomping each other unconscious in public, or pushing them on the tracks, or you know what I'm saying? Like fucking.
It's time to be a community.
Yeah,
we gotta go.
You guys help us, come together. So that is good, man.
Officers downtown on the weekends would top $6 million a year, and some nights require more officers downtown than in the rest of the city combined.
We have to ask whether that's what our vision is for our downtown and our community.
One proposed solution, end alcohol sales at midnight. But Commissioner Shannon Rose believes that's not the answer.
I brought up examples of other cities that have end alcohol sales at midnight and they don't have extended and they're still having shoot-ins. I think what we do have to look at is how do we create safe environments?
Commissioner Patty Sheehan believes the bar owners should play a huge role in controlling bad crowds and says if bar owners won't step up, she's ready to pull the plug.
It's up to the business owners to control themselves, and they will not do that. And that sucks, frankly. I wish that we keep having conversations, and we keep having conversations, and we keep having conversations, and none of the behavior changes.
Meanwhile, business owners like Maddie Bullitt say they're doing their part and feel shut out of the convo.
We're not here to police the streets. We do the best we can when it comes to safety prevention measures.
Now, city leaders say no final decision has been made quite yet, but change could be coming soon. Reporting in Orlando, I'm Caroline Coles, Fox 35 News.
Everybody's a lesbian with a face tattoo now.
Well, we're learning new details about the violence.
Jeez.
It's Pat on the city council. It's ridiculous.
People who work in the Loop are often looking for a quick and affordable lunch. That includes us here at CBS.
Some of our colleagues noticed there used to be lots of McDonald's locations nearby. Check out all those golden arches. But one by one, you can see most have disappeared. So we sent our Lauren Victory to find out why.
I have
These
a few ideas.
vacant storefronts sit just a block off Chicago's famous Michigan Avenue, a welcome greeting of graffiti. Are you getting tired of answering the question?
I think it's their menu doesn't cater to the local population.
Every day there's something new and improved.
Like the restaurant where the Chicago Loop Alliance's Michael Edwards met us. More on Memento in a moment. First, an assessment of the Loop's health.
The first quarter of this year, 1 million people came down, $280 million in economic impact.
Downtown foot traffic on the weekends is even higher than before the pandemic. Consumers are coming, commercial tenants not as much. High rent doesn't help.
We tend to only bring in large retailers and national retailers, and many of them are downsizing.
One company that left a supersized hole downtown, McDonald's. There used to be one right here between Randolph and Washington. There's also nothing left of the Mickey D's on Adams. The Golden Arches on Clark, not there. No more Big Macs at this Loop location either. 4 McDonald's gone within a 10-minute walk of each other. What is going on?
I think that would be a question for McDonald's.
Oh, we asked them, but got an appreciate you reaching out reply.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery.
The reason that I don't take the whole Shiloh Hendricks outrage shit seriously is because I see posts like this on Twitter all the time from Black people. I'm going to put the picture right here. You guys can see it for yourself. I'm going to put it right here. I see posts like this all the time. I see people who look like me, we're the same skin color. Some are lighter, some are darker, always jokingly use that word with the ER. So like the outrage to me, it's fake. It's fucking fake. And I'm over it. Like, good for her for making $1 million off of saying the N-word. Like, holy fucking shit, goals.
N-word
Like,
fatigue.
I need that kind of luck in my life for real. But I see this shit all the time. I see people jokingly say it all the time. People who look like me. Okay, and these are the pro-black activists who are Democrat. I see y'all say this all the time. Some of y'all, okay, let me say some because obviously not all, but I see people joke about it all the time. So miss me with the fucking fake outrage.
When it comes to the Shiloh Hendrix situation, I think it's safe to say that most of us have kind of moved on with our lives. I've been getting ready and prepared
He's exactly
to
where
dive
he was
into
2
some
weeks ago. What's he
different
talking about?
stories. But I went to take a peek in on what's going on with the Shiloh Hendrix madness. And these people are still going crazy over Shiloh. They're still sending threats. They're still harping on about Shiloh Hendrix as if there hasn't been all types of other worse things happening in the world, but to them, the white lady saying the N-word, it's like their 9/11. It's something they will never let go of. 200 years from now, 200 years from now, people will be talking about how their great-grandfather was alive when Shiloh Hendrix called a kid the N-word at the park. Best believe they will hold on to this for generations and generations. They will not pass down any generational wealth, but they will pass down stories about Shiloh Hendrix and all of the other bad, terrible things Black people had to go through. But watching these people still melt down, it's kind of funny because it just shows you that they're never going to let this stuff go. The chip on their shoulder is just too large. But for the first time, finally, it took long enough. For the first time, we have now heard from Shiloh directly. And I'm not talking about in messages. Shiloh has posted a couple of messages here and there, and I've read them for you all when she did. But now she has released a video of herself addressing the situation and what's going on in her life. It looks like they're probably preparing to get into a new house. I think things are going kind of well for Shiloh right now. I have a video that I want to show you guys of her speaking out. And I think this video goes to show that she is handling the situation pretty well. But I mean, I guess, hey, if you just made almost $1 million, then how can you not handle that situation well? But I'm going to play this clip for you. But first, if you guys would like to support the channel, please consider supporting the channel in one of many ways. You can support the channel for free by liking the video, sharing the video, commenting below, becoming part of the conversation. And if you want to take your support one step further, you could always donate via Cash App or Super Thanks. It is always greatly appreciated, especially when covering stories like this one, because the overlords at the YouTubes, they don't like us talking about stuff like this. In fact, Shiloh put out this video online that I'm about to show you, and it's already been like shadow banned. Shiloh herself has already been shadow banned. So I'm going to assume that YouTube is probably going to suppress this video. So I definitely need your help in sharing the video on social media. Let's get Shiloh's word out there, because look, this platform and all of these other platforms, they have no problem sharing all of the hateful stuff about Shiloh. They have no problem promoting videos of people crapping on Shiloh and threatening Shiloh. But if someone defends her, it's a problem. So share this video. And with that being said, let's go ahead and roll this clip, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shiloh Hendrix.
I wanted to take a little time to talk to you all about what's been going on with my fundraiser and kind of the aftermath of the park situation. Also, some concerns that have been brought to my attention. There are a lot of people who think that this has all been a scam, that I haven't been getting my money.
Is she going to announce her crypto coin now?
I have gotten every dime of my money. It's all gone to me. Nobody has asked me for any money. So there's that. Rest assured, all the money has gone to me. When this first started, I had a handful of people helping me out. Anglo-Saxon Girl, Tom Hennessy, Paul Miller, and Officer Bone, Avi. And they really just were kind of guiding me through this time and promoting my fundraiser and getting the word out there about everything that was going on. So I am forever grateful for all of them for that. And then
she should probably buy herself some new boobs too, with the little leftover
he got fired
cash.
from his job and uploaded a video and started
I think
his
she's
own
earned 'em.
fundraiser. That had nothing to do with myself and the rest of the people that were
Maybe we can
involved.
start another fundraiser for her.
As
Get her
soon
some
as
new
we found out
boobs.
the truth about all of that, I severed
Even the
ties
N-word
with
like
him
titties.
immediately. I am not married to
I think
him.
it can bring us all together.
I don't know him. I've never met any of these people. So I just want to shut that down right now. Yeah.
Black sheep checking out of the chat.
When I first found out that the park video was going viral, it was terrifying.
Benny McGibbon's weighing in.
not
He thinks this girl looks like a
because
slight
obviously he was
bimbo.
recording me. He was
That's what I
gonna get
mean.
out
She's
there at
kind of
some point.
slight. She could put on a little weight now.
I did not realize I was going to have so much support and have
Gotta be
all
honest,
of
she
these
looks
people
kind of
rally
methy.
around me and have my back in this situation. And it was very overwhelming. And I am so grateful for you all for
Who
that.
had Ock for 3 a.m.?
When this
Now
first happened
127.
and I went on X and I saw Anglo-Saxon Girl had posted my video, I messaged her and I was like, hey, that's me.
I haven't heard anybody
Kind
say
of needing
smash yet.
somebody like-minded to talk to. And of course, she didn't know it was me. So we went through the whole process of, proving who I was.
Who's left on the panel tonight?
And that's when we kind of got the whole fundraiser started and set up. And yeah, the rest of that is history. I also just want to say how proud I am of everybody and just showing what can happen if we tribe up and if we stick together and if we keep fighting back. Our future, our existence depends on standing up for ourselves and not backing down.
She's kind of the Rosa Parks of
And
black fatigue.
we
She
just
got it all
have to
started.
keep on going.
That
There's
week
no other
of
option.
black
I mean, what
fatigue.
else are we going to do? You can't be afraid of words.
She'll be on
Don't
a
be
stamp
afraid of the
someday.
people who are so fragile to a word. I am just so thankful for you all. We are in the process of looking for a home. We have looked at some, getting out of the state and
So
starting
let's start up
a new
again,
life.
Sengo.
And I want to have a
We'll
quiet
get her
life.
some new tits.
I don't plan on
Maybe get
being
the
an
tats removed.
influencer. I don't plan on doing interviews. Like,
We could make her a
that's
day
just
shift
not
dancer
something that
if
I
we'd
would
all
ever
put our
want to do.
hearts
It's
and
not
money
on
into
my
this.
agenda. So maybe someday, but I don't foresee it happening anytime soon. We're all doing okay.
the olive oil
We've been moving around a lot. It's been an adventure. It's fun to see new places and, been kind of an
That's
outlaw.
really popping tonight.
Again, I just want to say that I am so grateful for all of my supporters and all of my people.
Chad, how do
who
we
have been
feel
with me
about
through all of
ladies
this.
with tattoos?
And yeah,
If we like it, press
I
one.
haven't said
If we
anything
don't,
on
press
here.
two.
I haven't done any sort of videos or spoke to anybody really. So I felt like it was about time to clear the air and just kind of, keep you updated with what's going on. And yeah, so I just want to say thank you, everyone. And I will talk to you later.
Okay, so I have a few takeaways from this video. For one, I'm glad she got up out of there. I'm glad she got out of Minnesota. I'm glad that she's being able to access her money. You know, the Carmelo Anthony supporters, they're still online to this day claiming that they shut Shiloh's Gibson go down. And they're all praising this black woman for being behind shutting Shiloh down. But none of that ever happened. But still to this day, they believe that. So I don't know why, but Carmelo Anthony supporters, they're out there celebrating a victory like they took down Shiloh, when in reality, as you see here, Shiloh has access to the money and she's doing fine. Now, these social media influencers that helped Shiloh out originally, I don't know them personally. I don't want to speak on their character, but I hope that Shiloh is careful around some of these characters that will pop up and try to attach themselves to her. Because, yeah, a lot of these people have their own motives and their own agendas, and you got to be careful there. She says that she has no interest in becoming an influencer or something like that, and that's what I want to hear.
You know, she's got her catchphrase.
I don't need a Shiloh Hendricks podcast. I don't need Shiloh Hendricks popping up on all of the other podcasts I watch. I am okay. When it comes to people like this, I'd rather them, you know, accept the money that they've been generously given and ride off into the sunset. I don't need people from these little viral moments turning into like e-celebrities. There's there's nothing out there that I despise more than the Hawk Tua girl. You know, a girl who got caught in a 10-second viral moment, and for some reason we had to turn her into a celebrity and give her her own podcast, as if anything she has to say is of value. And I'm not insulting Shiloh or anything like that, but just because we have a 10-second clip of you saying something that surprised people doesn't mean that we need to hear what you have to say on every topic. Now, Shiloh would probably have more interesting takes than Haley Welch, the Hawk Tua girl. But you guys get what I'm saying? I feel like there's something that's just not natural about it. If Shiloh went immediately into becoming an influencer, I would really question this whole ordeal and how natural all of this was.
This guy before?
But her taking the route of not being an influencer, I like that. But I don't necessarily believe that we won't hear from her in the future. I don't necessarily believe that we won't get a Shiloh Hendricks podcast. I think that there are people behind the scenes that are already trying to influence her to become an influencer. So we'll see how that goes. But overall, you know, I'm happy that we hear from her. I'm happy that she's safe. I'm happy that she got out of town. But I was hoping that we would hear her address this situation a little more. Because there's details about what went down that we have not gotten yet. And we don't know the full truth about what happened that day. The cameras started rolling after, you know, she supposedly even called the kid the N-word. So I wanted to hear Shiloh's version of events. And I was hoping she would address it in the video, but she didn't. So if anything, I hope she posts more videos to address what actually happened that day, because some of us are still curious. And some of us are still curious about the age of the child. Was the child's parents anywhere in sight? There are details that I would like Shiloh to clear up because, interestingly and oddly enough, that 5-year-old autistic child, we have yet to see them. And their family has still not come forward. And now the Shiloh Hendricks story has kind of, you know, it ran its course, and now people are on to other things. There are some dwellers still there trying to hate on Shiloh and threaten her, yeah, and we'll confront those people and address those people if need be. But it seems like, you know, people have kind of moved on. Meanwhile, we still have yet to hear from this 5-year-old kid or this family, and I firmly just believe they do not exist. And that's not saying that this whole Shiloh situation is a scam or this whole Shiloh situation is fake. I just believe that the other version of events that we've gotten from the Somali and Chomo and the other people that were there, I believe that we've been lied to when it comes to how old this kid is. I believe we were lied to about him having autism, and I don't believe the parents were there, and I don't believe that the parents may even be in the picture, period. There's a reason why you have not seen these people yet. They are hiding them. And now the story has kind of blown over and no one's even asking questions anymore. But I'm still here wondering. I'm still here wanting to hear from this family. Y'all made a big deal about this family and this child, and y'all have yet to show them. And it kind of feels like Shiloh was kind of waiting, right? Because Shiloh could have released a video like this a week ago. But it feels like she's kind of been waiting in the wings, waiting to play for things to play out, to see how things go. And finally, she steps forward and starts speaking. Mind you, this is after multiple protests, a city town hall meeting, and all of these other things they were organizing around Shiloh. And at all of these events, everyone was expecting this kid and his parents to show up, and they never did. So still to this day,
This guy, they normally just do
the kid
film
and his
reviews.
parents are a
Is that a
complete
deal?
mystery. But Shiloh is less of a mystery because now we've heard her speak. I just wish that we heard a little bit more about what actually happened that day. And I hope that maybe one day she addresses that a little bit, just to give us further details and further, some clarity about what actually went down, about the age of this kid and what have you. But for now, you guys let me know what you think about all of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon in the next one. When it comes to the Austin Metcalf case, of course, we all already know that Carmelo's family has spoken out and they've played the victim. We have all heard from their baby beating spokesman. We've heard from him like a dozen times. Hell, we've even heard from Austin's dad quite a bit. But we have not really heard much from Austin's mom, other than the initial interviews that she did when this story first broke.
Is that you, Mark?
Because unlike Carmelo's family and unlike the people representing Carmelo's family, Austin's family, they've been keeping a low profile. They haven't really been weighing in much on what's been going on surrounding this case. They have not been speaking out, playing victim, even though they've been getting swatted, they've been getting harassed. And I know they are well aware that the internet is full of fake information about their child. And all types of hateful stuff being spread about their child. And so far, they have taken the high road. They have shown a lot of self-control, a lot of restraint.
New guy left,
done
right?
much better than I would have. I can tell
You know, when a son hears that sound, they immediately jump out of bed
But
going, "What's that
now
noise?
we are
What is that sound that I'm hearing?"
from Austin's mom, or maybe I shouldn't say we're hearing from Austin's mom. Maybe I should say that the local school district, Frisco ISD, they are now
Usually
hearing from Austin's mom.
Bolt up when they hear that sound.
Because, of course, the word just broke.
Yeah, I don't know if he knows it's loud,
They are
but
literally going to allow
that sound is pretty loud. So, in the meantime,
despite
you have a good night,
their
Jimmy.
rules clearly
And
showing
for the
that
nation,
if someone gets,
peace.
caught up in a crazy crime like Carmelo did, they're not supposed to be allowed to graduate. They're supposed to be immediately expelled. Yada, yada. We've already been through this. Well, they made a special rule, right, for Carmelo. They're basically saying, hey, Carmelo doesn't have to abide by any of our rules. We're scared we might be called racist. We got to give special treatment, special privilege to Carmelo because he killed a white kid after all. So we got to look after him, right? So Austin's mom is upset about this. And it turns out that she actually contacted Frisco ISD back in
I
April,
wish I could reach in there and just
asking
shake
them
him.
to please not allow Carmelo to graduate because her son can't graduate. Because unfortunately, her son is no longer with us. as Carmelo is out here celebrating his birthday, spending up all of that money that was raised for him. But I want to read you all an email that Austin's mother sent to the Frisco school system back in April. But before we hop into this email, if you all support this channel, consider supporting the channel in one of many ways. You could like the video, drop a comment below, become part of the conversation. Make sure you share this video on social media. It's totally free. It takes 1 second, but it helps the channel out a lot. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, make sure you have all of your notifications on. And if you would like to take your support one step further, you can always donate via Cash App or Super Thanks. That is always greatly appreciated and needed over here on this channel because this platform is not really like me. But that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this email.
Shout out to Show for the
Hello,
$10
board
donation.
members. Now,
I don't know
this
if
was
Mike's gonna
sent
wake
on
up in
April
time to
17th. Hello, board
shout out.
members.
Gun Hill
My
Road,
name is
is that a
Megan
DC thing?
Metcalf. My son, Austin Metcalf, was tragically taken away from me on April 2nd, 2025, from another Frisco student. I have been
Fucking
informed
Tunde.
that the civil rights team that this person has behind him are reaching out to you requesting he be able to graduate. I do not know much about your stance on protest, etc., but I would urge you to make sure that you do not change your mind on this ruling, that the boy is expelled and it stays that way. My son, Austin, will never be able to graduate. This person will have the opportunity to get his GED at a later time because
Show
he
rumor has
is
it
still
that's your
living.
second donation.
I
tonight.
would strongly request that you do not allow them to sway
Shout
your
out to Show.
ruling and keep him from being
And
able
Larry
to
Allen.
graduate from the Frisco ISD schools we hold so dear. Now, mind you, Frisco ISD, they're in communication with Carmelo's family and the activists representing Carmelo's family. They're in constant communication, right?
All right, should I bail? Press 1.
Meanwhile, Austin's mom sends this email and they don't even reply. They totally ignored Austin's mom's email. Meanwhile, they're working behind the scenes with Carmelo's family to make sure that Carmelo graduates. So here they are showing special treatment to a killer while totally ignoring the victim's family. Yeah, we'll allow Carmelo to graduate. Oh, Austin's mom sent us an email. Let's freaking ignore it. Forget her. So we know that the Frisco ISD, they're capable of being in communication with people because we know for a fact that they were in communication with Carmelo's team. And while they were in communication with Carmelo's team, they totally blatantly ignored Austin's family.
Right now, he's dreaming.
Didn't
and he
even
owns his
give
own
them the
plantation.
common decency of
He's
emailing
dreaming
them
about his
back.
plantation. It would be a dream come
So
true for him.
weeks later,
And on that plantation,
Austin's
he has
mom emails them again.
thousands of
Mind you, the first
tons
email
of
was
Cajun
on April
cards
17th. This is on May
working for
13th.
him on his plantation.
Someone needs
Caitlin
to
Clark.
respond to me. This is unacceptable. So then and only then,
wake up!
after the news had already broke that they came to an agreement to allow Carmelo to graduate, then and only then did they write back, they emailed back Austin's mom, and they basically sent her
Each one of those
a generic
Caitlin
message,
Clark
a generic
lemonade
reply.
whenever he's feeling thirsty.
I do not want to waste your time reading the entire reply. You
You're
can
out
see
there
it
working
right
the
here.
field,
It was just a
on
generic
the porch,
reply,
rocking.
like an automated reply
Every now and
almost
then,
that
one of
you
those
would send
Caitlin
to
bring you
anyone.
lemonade.
No words of condolences, none of that.
Yak Nation
Just
plantation.
cold-hearted. Hey, you wanted to reply, we ignored you. Well, here's your reply. Meanwhile, you got to remember, behind the scenes, they're working with Carmelo's family to ensure that Carmelo gets special treatment. So Austin's mom gets this generic reply, and then here's what she had to say. Never would I have imagined a response like this? Not even a condolences. If any of you had a heart, the fact you can't even acknowledge my loss is telling of this board. I look forward to seeing how you handle this situation. You know, I would like to know who is on this board. Who's on the Frisco ISD school board? Who's the person receiving these emails? Is it someone that looks like Austin, or is it someone that looks like Carmelo? Is Austin's family being treated this way because they're white? Or is Austin's family being treated this way because Carmelo and his family are black and they're scared of what pushback they may get? That's where we're at here. Either these people just hate white people too, so they're just crapping all over the Metcalf family, or they're just really afraid of what labels may be placed on them, so they're giving the black family special treatment in this case. One of two things, maybe even both, are true. So it's incredibly frustrating. It's disgusting. We could throw 1,000 words out there. But what makes them feel comfortable doing this? It's because they're confident that they can mistreat the white family in the situation because white people aren't going to gather and protest and cause mayhem outside of their school buildings. However, the black community will, and the activists representing Carmelo will. Okay?
Caitlin, bring me another.
That's a lot of why this is happening and why they feel like they could treat Austin's family this way. Because they know there's not going to be really any repercussions. But they have to walk around on pins and needles and eggshells when it comes to Carmelo's family and the organization representing them. So if all of this is happening with the local school system, can we really trust the local legal system? The way things are going right now, the way things are going so smooth for Carmelo, this is being set up for Carmelo to walk away free. That's what's happening right now. They are setting the stepping stones. They are paving the way for Carmelo to walk away from this situation a free man. And I hate to say that. That should not be the case. We should be having a different conversation right now. In no world should Carmelo be graduating, but he is. So it just makes you wonder, is he going to be getting this special treatment moving forward? Because as of right now, everything seems to be working in Carmelo's favor. And everyone seems to be working against Austin Metcalf's family. So I'm just looking at this overall situation. I'm watching how things are playing out, and I'm preparing myself for the worst here. And I think everyone should prepare themselves for that. We still need to hope for the best. And I do believe the facts of the case show that Carmelo is guilty. But I don't think there's going to be a fair trial here. There's going to be pressure put on these jurors to ensure that Carmelo at the most gets a slap on the wrist. There's going to be a lot of social pressure placed here. And I hope that Austin Metcalf's family is getting ready, because this silent approach, just allowing everything to play out the way it does, if you do that, it's not going to work out in your kid's favor. You all need to be just as vocal, just as loud as Carmelo's family. You all need to be just as active. You need to be on the phone making phone calls. Maybe you need to go get a lawyer to help you with it. I don't know. Maybe you need to get a team behind you. I don't know. But if you want justice to be served, you got to start getting on it now. Start applying pressure now, because y'all are the victims. Not Carmelo's family, But you see everything that Carmelo's family has accomplished. So lying down and just waiting, it doesn't work. And I think Austin's dad knows that now, and that's why he's out here. He's been speaking up. He has been calling people out now, and now he's going trying to talk to these people at the school board. Because I think Austin's dad, after the first couple of weeks, after seeing how crazy people are, I think he realizes now that no, there's not going to be any kumbaya prayer meetings holding hands. No, that's not how this ends, buddy. Either you hop in the fight or you get rolled over. And he was getting rolled over, but now he's hopping in the fight. With all of that being said, you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.
We almost got to see that guy stand up right
We
there.
begin this Sunday morning with increasing calls to investigate and possibly arrest Jim Comey after the former FBI director posted an image on social media suggesting a call to assassinate President Trump. Comey was interviewed by the Secret Service on Friday and is now facing a string of federal probes after he posted an image of a beach scene with seashells arranged in the numbers 8647, writing this: cool shell formation on my beach walk. The number 86 typically refers to elimination, and President Trump is, of course, the 47th president. After much public outcry on social media, Comey took down the post, claiming he was not aware that 86 refers to eliminating something and that he opposes violence. There have already been 2 assassination attempts on President Trump's life, which are still under investigation by the FBI. After the incident, new FBI Director Kash Patel told me he is in the middle of an active investigation into this matter. Days earlier, the 2 walked us through Comey's weaponization of the FBI, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, as well as some of the other important cases that they are working on, including drug and human trafficking cells operating in America today, the events of January 6th, and Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, man.
That was time travel. You just traveled time, you know?
Oh,
we learned a lot, though. Who was that fat guy you were watching?
Oh, my God.
He's going to make a mint of Shiloh.
That fat guy was Cinema Shogun. I think that's the thing. He's Cinema Shogun. What did he say about Shiloh? What happened?
He wants us to stay on the case, man. He doesn't want us to lose momentum. I think he's already seeing the way the trial's going to go. He's got a lot of theories.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me, man. Is excuse me? They're going to have sons on the jury. Is this going to be like OJ, where just sons will not vote to convict?
You know, yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough to find.
Isn't that going to be just like if you voted to convict, there goes your black card? Isn't it one of these dividing lines for the community?
I don't think this case is that big, but I think that it's going to be rough. It is going to be. It's going to be a lot of trouble for.
Do you know when it's slated to go to trial? Is it like a year out or 6 months? Do we?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's gonna be about a year because they're gonna say you can't find a location.
So it'll be there for midterm elections.
Wow. But I think that video that story pretty much tapped out because I mean, like it was so like savage. It was so brutal and so savage, and blacks like exhausted all their political will on that thing. Like I think that it's not going to be the same fervor to support Carmelo.
Well, unless there's something big to replace it, I could see it becoming the a real sort of dividing line. Like if it goes to trial and he gets acquitted, that's just, how do you explain that? How does that happen in Trump's America? That's what some people are going to be asking, you know? I think it can be, it'll be fanned into something much bigger by the people who want it to be.
I think, I think when you're talking about like the evidence being brought up in court, the trial's going to be so fast.
I mean, I don't even know. Is it officially going to be like a self-defense case? And if it is, will there be sons on the jury willing to convict him for whatever? You know, it's also going to matter specifically what they charge him with. That may determine whether or not there's a.
They're gonna go for murder one or you know what I mean? Because I mean, he did kind of like admit to it, like he admitted to it, and he all the witnesses from what the witnesses say happened, he just stabbed someone in the chest. I mean, and they were dead, and he meant to do it. He was lucid afterwards too. Remember how he was like, "I did it," you know what I mean? He wasn't
So
like.
You think sons on the jury would have no problem voting to convict? Because it only takes one not doing it, and then the whole thing falls apart.
Yeah, I think sons will vote to convict on that one. Yeah.
All right.
Not saying that it's because of a representative of the black community, but I mean, how many sons do you think is going to be on this jury? And then, like, of those sons, like, what do you think their profession is? Do you think it's a lot of sons that are going to be on that jury? Black people don't do jury duty, really. You know, like we get the thing in the mail and we don't do it. So.
Yeah, but what prosecutor is going to say, "Oh, well, I guess we had no black people come in for jury duty today"? They know they have to have some on there.
Right. That's the depth of the question, man. I don't know, man. That's the depth of the question. Yeah, it's gonna be rough, man. It's gonna be rough for it's gonna be. I think it's gonna probably try people and test the America, if America whatever can stay together, But like I said, man, the evidence is so overwhelming. The evidence is so overwhelming, according to the law, that I think.
I just feel like culturally it could be like an OJ thing where it's just like, no, this is a line in the sand by the community.
Oh,
or maybe I'm just over. Maybe I'm I'm confused or deluded about how big the story really is or was. Maybe it is over. Maybe there's just gonna be more of this shit continuing, and it'll just kind of be the news cycle, and we won't hear about it again. This one seemed like a big one.
Yeah, it was a big one, but he got $500,000, and then they hired a fucking moron to run it. Like, since that guy's been on their case, they've only gotten like $30,000 in donations. They got $500,000 in like a week and a half, and then he comes in the scene, and then it's like they've got $30,000 in the last month.
Yeah.
It's like he kind of like his representation, his association with it made it less serious. The black community made it more like a joke.
I guess, man.
Yeah, he ruined it. That was the worst thing they could have done.
Getting a clown to front their operation?
Yeah, criminal clown.
Reformed criminal clown. He's made a new start. He's got businesses. He's an entrepreneur.
Who can't speak English, doesn't know how to use the language.
Who's overcoming adversity. He's turned his life around, made something of himself.
Yeah. Then also too the fact that the violence that was supposed to be directed towards them was so small. It was like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like a goddamn swastika spray painted on the house. They couldn't produce anything. If they could have produced something where like the black community could be like, yeah, see, look, they still it's still like 1842. They couldn't produce anything.
It was all traced back to Indiana Fever fans.
Right. Couldn't produce nothing. So you need like a white boogeyman. There's no white boogeyman. The dad is a cuck. It's just a lot of things that you need to keep blacks going, because to keep blacks, usually Jews you know, like blacks a lot of times could care less about this type of shit. It's usually like Jews like stirring up trouble and keeping the shit going. I don't know if there's a big Jewish
Interesting.
Yeah, because blacks can kill us, man.
I think that the local guy edged him out. You know, that the spokesman they have now edged out those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Any final thoughts though, man?
Looking forward to this summer. It's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah, great show, man. Salute to everybody who tuned in, man. Same black time, same black channel. Out of here. Subscribe.